Hey, what is up, guys? This is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode 115. Hopefully, everybody can hear us okay out there. Sorry. We got a new computer behind the scenes to try to help with some of the issues we had with phone calls and whatnot. So, hopefully, this fixes our issues, but yet somehow it didn't. Because if you can see me behind the scenes leading up to this, it was pretty touch and go for a while. Nonetheless, we're live. We're here. Sorry we weren't here Sunday. Had a couple of things go on. I had to leave personally for a funeral. My grandfather passed away. And then also, too, if you've been following any of our pages, we lost a team member recently. Her name was Erin. So I want to go ahead and just pay a quick tribute to Erin with a moment of silence. Okay, well, yeah, life happens. We've been, I don't know if it's cursed or what, but we've lost three team members, along the way, unfortunately, and it's just, I don't know what to think about it or what to say about it, but I mean, life happens as we get older, unfortunately, but unfortunately for the three that we lost, it was unusual circumstances, we'll say, and for medical reasons, or in Erin's case, unfortunately, it was a car accident. So, but that's part of our lives, and it was great to know everybody that we've had, and we have a strong team now too. So let's just keep on going, and hopefully 2020 ends quick, because I'm tired of this shit, honestly.
Agreed.
So, yeah. Anywho, but no, this is, like I said, Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode 115. Got some guys live in studio. Jason, unfortunately, had to sit out a couple of weeks just because of situations. So, and Dan stopped in a couple of times, and we made do. So, and then we'll get Jake and Roth and everybody back on in due time. It's just a matter of when it's good for them. So, what's been going on, guys? What have you been up to? Where the hell have you been?
Just pissing people off like normal, but
Really?
That's what I do. No, just getting ready to change jobs and change some things up. I'll have a little bit more time to travel and be able to work on our team stuff. So,
Yeah.
excited about that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
So, yep, it's just your boss that's a pain in the ass. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll tell her you said that.
I'll tell her I said that.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good change. I'm going to have a lot more time to work on all the tours and then the events and all of our investigations and stuff like that we got going on and everything. So I'm excited. It's going to free up a lot more time. I'm hoping. So.
If not, I'm going to go straight to the boss and say, no, I'm kidding.
This wasn't what was promised. No,
Cut his hours down. Come on now.
That's right.
Oh, no, I can't actually do that. No, but I've been at my job for 6 years. I'm finally leaving the medical field. The hell with it. Getting out of it. 23 years is good enough for me, and I'm out. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I get it. So
I'm excited, but no, other than that, I'm just kind of, Corey and I are moving here soon to a different location, so got to do all the packing and all that stuff. But, been in contact with Darren Dito out there with Unexplained Files, and been talking with him, been talking with some other teams, and get to know people.
Yeah, we've been networking left and right, all over the place, which brings up an interesting, kind of connection for our upcoming show on Sunday, our regular scheduled show. We're going to have special guests I think most of them are out of Kansas City, Topeka, Lawrence area, but and even as far as Iowa and whatnot. But it's a Apex Paranormal. We met them at KC Paracon last year, and they were looking for a platform to get on and discuss them and their.
Right.
They have a couple buildings that they exclusively investigate, and they want to talk about them. And I'm like, hey, we're the show for you. Come on out, and we'll have some fun with it.
You bet.
Yeah.
So that
They're,
is Sunday.
They also help out with, is it Justin? Don't they? He's from Ghost Hunters.
Justin. Dustin.
Dustin.
Dustin, yes.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That's why I looked at you blankly. Sorry. Yeah, Dustin
Yeah.
Pari.
Yeah, Dustin.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. God
Yeah.
damn it. I'm still, reeling from that post from earlier, But yeah, Dustin. So they help out with him and set him up with a lot of investigations and
Yeah.
stuff, and out there in Atchison and stuff, and
Yeah.
other places. So
Yeah, Kansas City,
Very cool.
Independence, all that area, Missouri. Yep. They have about 3 or 4 places, and we'll have them to discuss it. Because I was trying to figure out one of them, if one of them's shutting down just for the season or permanently.
oh really?
It's the Beatty Mansion, so that's kind of
Oh, that's a big one.
So I was gonna ask them about it and see what's going on,
Yeah,
but
They're
We'll
doing
see.
some remodel.
is that what it
they're
is?
doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, not
That's good.
permanently.
That's
Good,
Not
good.
good.
permanent.
that's good then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that go out there to that, and it's
Oh, yeah.
it's a hot spot for everybody.
It's
So
booked out all the time.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
cause I know that when, like I said, we'll kind of give a little bit of it away. They do the Beatty Mansion, they do the Vale Mansion,
that's right.
and they have 2 or 3 more they've added, smaller places. I can't think, like Darwin something or other, and a couple other places, all mostly in Missouri and closer to Kansas City. But yeah, we're gonna have Shannon Johnson, who we met at the Paracon.
She's very cool.
Yeah,
I
she'll
talked
be
to
on
her.
the show, and I forgot the other guy's name. It's not the main guy. He told me it's gonna be. Hang on one second. Ed Louder. So
Louder,
he's one of the investigators on the team. So they'll be on this upcoming Sunday show. So it'll be fun. It's fun to connect with other people and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but yes, sir. Okay, well that's tonight's show.
And a little
No.
shout out to Neosho County Paranormal,
Yeah.
who reached out and been talking with them all day today. So
Yeah.
very cool people. Excited to hopefully work with them in the future.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely will. It'll be fun.
I kind of posted them on the Road Trip Paranormal's page. So
Yeah, I saw that.
I know
Yep.
you guys have already
Yep.
accepted, and liked them. So
Yeah.
it's very cool. I like trying to build that connection and everything, which is kind of being lost with a lot of other people that
Yeah.
try to downplay everybody else by claiming they're number one, they're the best, and well, fuck you. So
Well, and it's so we talked about this ad nauseum, but
Yeah.
this field that we're in is such a tough field. It's worse than regular politics. There's people that are territorial and like you said, claim to be the best and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And if you got to make those claims, more than likely you're probably not going to be. So that's why we're not the best. I'm just kidding.
No.
No, honestly.
we do what we do, and we have our style of how we
Sure.
handle ourselves, and
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why we've had such a long longevity, because what you see is what you get. We're here for the paranormal. We're here for the history. We're here for whatever we're doing: Sasquatch, UFOs, conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it. We're here for the adventure. We're here for the historical side. We're here for the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't fake anything.
No.
Never. Ever. Ever. Ever.
No.
Nope.
So, and if you have to make those claims, probably more than once you thought about it or have done it. So whatever.
And speaking of Sasquatch and everything, it's getting to be that cold weather, as winter just decided to show up in one day.
Yep.
One day.
September 2020.
It was
Summer
90 degrees
snow.
the other day, and today 40s.
So dumb. Yeah, Colorado, western Kansas, they're getting snow.
Corey is out in Garden City right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was in Dodge yesterday, and we
Yeah.
left. It was just rainy, but it was kind of snowing briefly. Nothing major.
Seriously?
You could see it, but it was just I'm like, oh Lord.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
2020.
Crazy.
So it's not even fall yet.
I know.
It's summer still, by definition of
Yeah.
that. But that's okay. No, and then also out in New Jersey, they had an earthquake, and they don't get earthquakes at all. So it's the year that keeps on giving. But
Sure it's not your stomach?
What am I
Okay.
stomach this around?
Okay. if you hear certain sounds in the room tonight.
Oh,
It's haunted. No, but and then tomorrow, of course, football starts already.
football.
Yeah, and the Chiefs kick it off against the Texans, the national or the world champs, I guess.
We're done talking about that. We're at the Packers kick off against
I'm just
Minnesota.
happy to have football. I don't really care. I mean,
Chiefs.
Yeah.
I know.
so yeah. But anyways, so back to the matters at hand. What's been going on? Have you heard any stories? Dan and I and Jason were talking off camera about some things. You mentioned we kind of mentioned it before too about the Ed and Lorraine special that came on.
Your
It was
mother
on
and
the
I-
Travel Channel. It's
Yeah.
it was a 2-hour special about their lives, their
Yeah.
cases and whatnot,
We
and all that
kinda
fun stuff.
Brought him up last podcast too.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, because I haven't watched it yet. I recorded it. Hopefully it recorded. If not, I'll can get on demand. But yeah,
It was on
it's-
again last night.
Oh,
so,
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna outplay it for a
Oh,
while.
of course. So if you got 2 hours, I mean, it may be worth a watch.
It was a good watch. I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it again. But yeah,
Yeah. So no, yeah, Ed and Lorraine, they're one of the, we'll just call them founders of paranormal things. I mean, they're in every
Basically,
case. Conjuring, as we talked about, different things. The Amityville, Jason's favorite. He believes in it 100%. And joking, come on.
No, I'm not saying that there couldn't be stuff because I mean
Yeah.
there was a whole murder that happened, that the whole family
Yeah,
wiped out. You know,
right.
not saying that there couldn't be anything happening. I'm just saying that the Lutzes didn't really, handle their situation very well when they were
Right.
telling their story, and then
Well, they wanted
Hollywood
money.
takes over, and you've got a lot of false claims and just very blown up ideas and stuff
Right.
like that to it. And I'll stand with my theory that they knew what
Wait a
they were
minute.
talking
I thought you were standing already.
about. I am.
No, I'm just kidding.
Didn't you know that?
Wow.
Kidding. No. But yeah,
No,
state
but-
your theory. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the theory that they already knew how all this stuff, and they made it up as they went because, they had the books, they had the knowledge of it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be different if the DeFeo family who lived there originally, or
Yeah.
one of the original owners, had survived and they claimed to experience stuff afterwards,
Yeah.
or during, or whatever,
during the time.
led
yeah,
up to.
exactly.
But now it's the people that moved in afterwards that are the ones that kind of gave
and
it a bad
nobody
rap.
since so has
Yeah.
claimed anything.
Yeah. So.
So that's why I'm like, okay,
mhm.
and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up to the hype.
Right, right. I mean, it's hard to say how many places out there have the same kind of gory background or whatever, history behind it, and aren't on.
So you have like the Sally House.
Yeah.
You have the family that lived there, like the couple that lived there.
The Pickerings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in what was the 80s,
80s, early 90s. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
because they were on the TV show Sighting. So I guess
Yeah.
it was like maybe early 90s. When
Yeah.
it was
I think it was
happening.
90s.
They were having stuff caught on camera and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But since then, stuff continues to happen there. You've been there.
Right.
Jake's been there.
You've been on
Jake's-
the outside.
Yeah.
I haven't been there at all.
I've been on the outside. I've never been
Yeah.
in the inside at all.
Right.
But the claims are still there, and it keeps changing and morphing and everything like that. So, a place like that can stand the test of time on that.
hmm
But for Amityville, it doesn't.
Well, and kind of going back to that thought, we talked about it before. How much of it is indigenous to the house? I mean, as far as
And
maybe it was a
people
little
bring it
girl in
in.
the beginning or
It
whatever.
Could be.
Because how many people have visited this place, and now it's been changed possibly by who people are bringing stuff in. Maybe like as far as attachments or
yeah.
rituals they're doing, or
Very cool.
practices,
Very true.
and maybe that's why the Amityville doesn't have that.
sorry.
And I was talking to Darren Dito just right before the show, and
Uh-huh.
he was saying how they will not they will absolutely not allow anybody down the basement now. Period. Because he called and talked to him, I guess, and
Well-
they're just like, no, we're not allowing anybody. Stairs are not safe anymore, so
Oh.
they're not allowing anybody down there.
Gotcha.
I'm like, you guys make a ton of money off this place. and
Right.
You can't upkeep this shit?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I think, like you said, you said it yourself, the outside was dilapidated.
It's
bad
falling
enough,
apart.
So,
Paint, the front porch, it looks homely and just
right. I'll have a
it's
picture.
just
I'll pull
awful
it up.
looking. And I'm like, you guys are raking in $400 and some per group that goes in, plus 150 or $50 per more. I don't know. They make a lot of money because people are fascinated by the Sally House.
Well,
Right.
they got your tours from September through like late October.
And you're letting the house fall apart.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad. I'll
Yeah.
pull the
So,
picture.
if it's a piece of history and we want to keep it, in the paranormal world and everything like that, do something about it and fix up what you can to make it at least stay.
Right.
But they're not. Obviously, not
Sorry.
keeping it.
Jason's that out.
So I can't stand the fact that, allowing something like that to disappear rapidly. I mean, that's just, I don't even know
Right.
when that photo was taken, but
I put Sally House as of today, roughly.
Gotcha.
Now is it? But you can see that's pretty much the state of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Corey
right
and
down
I-
front.
yeah, Corey and I went last year.
Actually, I have your picture, Jason. Let me grab that real quick while
Oh, okay.
you're on that.
So, yeah, we went last year, and God, I was just kind of disgusted by it.
Right.
I was like kind of knocking on the door and ringing the doorbell because that's what they say to do. Of course, nobody was home. Nobody was there to let us in. Because I was wanting to take her in, and hell, I'd pay for a tour.
Right.
But it was just, I just couldn't believe it, and it was just totally falling apart.
Yeah. I mean,
Cobwebs everywhere. Yeah, of course it gives to the, effect to it, but it just looked like it was just ready to be just torn down.
Well,
Yeah,
at least fix
honestly.
the stairs because the basement's the main.
And now they won't let you in
Exactly.
to do that, to go down
Well-
there. So you're only upstairs and the main living room area, I guess, now.
I mean, even still, like the inside wasn't the best. I mean, it had all that purple, like that mauve carpet, whatever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
beautiful carpet.
But I remember Jake telling me when he went there, because the night he met us all at the Eldridge,
Right, in Lawrence. Mm-hmm.
he was having some weird things happening, there in the house, up there in the bedroom, around the closet, and all that.
Right.
So, there's things happening and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, for sure. Let me see.
but anyway, and I know I went way off topic.
No.
We were
No,
talking about-
there's
but,
other
topics.
but it was just talking about from you have like the major motion picture and book selling Amityville to the Sally House, and only the Sally House is still have current hauntings going on.
Right.
Whereas Amityville, everybody who's lived there is saying there's nothing here.
That was stunning.
Oh, God.
I told you.
Dan is possessed.
I'm possessed.
That actually gave me like, what the freak was that?
Now, again, last week,
Oh, Lord.
as we were talking, I did go back and look a little bit more of the persons that was there during the Amityville thing with Ed and Lorraine. The preacher that did the exorcism and the blessing of the house, he still, until his day died, held to what he stated happened in the house.
Mhm.
So, was there something there at that time? Possibly. Is
Well-
it played out as in the book, in the movie? No,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
So with him going in there and doing all that, sure, there could have still been residue from
The murders.
The murders that the son went in and killed the entire family.
Right.
His own parents, his own siblings, and then stabbed himself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's played out that you didn't want to get shot, so you just stabbed yourself.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know how to shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
To fake it. It wasn't because of a demon or anything. He did it because of money. He had motives to do
Right.
so, and the police knew that too. They got him to confess, and he went to jail, of course.
Well, even after talk or listen to what his confessions was 20 years later, he stated that he had an incestual relationship with his sister.
Oh, that's
And
right.
his sister's the one
Yeah.
that talked him into doing it the night they got high with two friends.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about Ronald DeFeo and his sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and he killed her too.
Yeah,
So,
this is wild.
And that
Wasn't
should be
sure
cleared up,
he
right?
shot from behind, like
Yeah.
face down, because
Yeah, back of the head.
yeah,
Well,
maybe it was just too much to if he's having a relationship like you said,
Right.
maybe it was something that maybe something was going to happen. Maybe she was going to go to mom and dad or out him or something. And
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
who knows?
Right.
She had the power over him too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of that residue that's still left in that house from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, a murder happened. Yeah.
But if the priest came in,
Mhm.
cleansed it, cleared it, whatever, but then all of a sudden you got, the flying pig with red eyes and, and slime coming from the walls and all this stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, again, and most of that was for the book.
I know.
Yeah.
That's not in
By the legend,
any of right. It's not in any of Ed and Lorraine's
Right.
testimonial.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh Jesus! Hang on, that ain't right. I have Jason's picture. Jason was actually fortunate to go out and this is maybe Jason can tell me. He'll tell us, should I say?
Tell us,
I'm
Jason.
trying to tell you crap. What are we looking at?
This is your picture outside the Sally house. Do you remember what year that was roughly? Because I mean, that can right there alone, that doesn't look as bad. I remember you saying it looked
that-
terrible. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. You said when you took Corey there,
Last year.
that's when it looked
horrible.
bad. This is a long time ago.
This one was before I met the team. So this is
Oh, wow.
early 2009.
Uh huh.
Oh yeah, they still got a grill.
Yeah, early 2009 is
Okay.
when I was there.
a
So
couple more.
that's, that's quite a long time now since
Yeah.
then, and they haven't really touched it since.
Well, you can see the picture I had put up earlier. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Let me see. You had some other side pictures outside of it. Let me find those real quick here.
Because from this, I ended up taking these pictures from the trolley.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I was riding the trolley for the ghost tour.
Yeah, it's just in Ghost Tour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually with my parents.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
we stopped there, and I was like, oh my God, this is the Sally house. This is what I was wanting
Right.
to see.
Well,
And
that's
that's that is Amelia Earhart's grandparents' house.
Oh, in Atchison.
Yeah. So
So is that one haunted?
not sure. No one's going to say anything.
Nah,
They just kind of pointed out as a historical marker type.
I gotcha. This
Uh,
is definitely the Sally house. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the Sally
So
house.
that's the Sally house.
I try to get a close-up view of it. As
mean-
far as I know, they weren't doing any tours at the time. The claims were from the trolley ride was anybody who goes over to try and the neighbors were hearing music constantly coming from the house.
Oh right.
They would go over there and peek in the windows, and one of the neighbors said they had felt like hands come up and grab them from behind. They turn around immediately, and no one's there,
Yeah.
and the music would stop. So I don't know. I was trying to get a good picture of the upstairs window where people claim they see a shadow walking around up there too. So,
That's probably
but
get my stupid head out of
the
the way.
stupid
so you can-
glare and everything from the sunlight was kind of makes it look like there's a bunch of orbs right there floating in the window.
Now, what year was that house built? Do you recall?
That was turn of the century, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, because it was an old doctor's office.
Yeah,
That's
doctor's
the whole
office.
story behind it.
Down below, he lived upstairs,
Uh huh.
and according to story, a woman knocked on the door, had her daughter. She wasn't feeling good.
Late rainy night.
rainy night. and
Right.
The doctor, who was an alcoholic.
What kind of doctor? Sorry,
Good
just
question.
kidding.
Good question.
I'm
Good
joking.
question. He was the town doctor, and he was known to being a drunk. They put her under anesthesia, which is what is it? Ether.
Ether.
Yeah,
They,
that's right.
and he didn't get enough on her, so by the time they had her open, because he said it was appendicitis, and they needed to get their appendix out. Apparently, when they had her open, she woke up and she started kicking and screaming, and she's bleeding out everywhere. And her last thing she sees is the doctor. She dies on the table, and so
She's
there
in the
is.
house.
So is
Okay.
Sally, the man hater.
No.
But I don't think there's actually any documentation of the story ever being
Right.
real. It's just
Oh, no.
a story.
Never heard anything.
There is a Sally in the cemetery, but that's an older woman. So,
Oh, that's right.
yeah. So, I mean, it's just kind of, it's one of those things. It's just a story.
I mean, and there's activity in the house, like we
There
talked
is.
about. That's
There
just it.
is.
There is activity. It's
When,
just how much is real.
So, when Kathy Ramirez of Ghost Tours of Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
who we're going to
Shameless plug.
have her on, I know. It's not, I'm not ashamed.
I'm just kidding.
Ghost Tours of Kansas, which is part of for the
Never heard of
Hotel
it.
Ghost Tours. Anyway, so Kathy, who owns those, she was invited to go in there with some friends who had booked out the place. She'd never been into Sally House. She'd always wanted to, and she said they were just sitting in the living room talking,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept hearing from upstairs what sounded like a gentleman coughing, like tuberculosis cough.
That's right.
And it was going on all night long, and it was just her and her friends that were there. Nobody was upstairs. They kept going up and checking, but it was definitely somebody in the house that was sick. Didn't sound like they were, that's what they were encountering.
I mean, it fits the mold as the doctor's home. Whether
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
Not necessarily Sally, but maybe it's a former patient or whatever.
Exactly.
Fits the time.
Or the doctor himself, or
Very
just
true.
a former resident who moved in there,
Right.
who may have died in the house too. Who knows? I mean,
Right.
could be anything.
Definitely.
But there's definitely activity there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And it's
so
haunted.
bounce
I mean,
that back to Amityville. That people who have moved in there since the Lutzes have said there ain't shit here.
Well, like I said, if you're not letting anybody in there to investigate or whatever, maybe it's not showing itself. There's not enough anger in the house or not enough energies or whatever that's
Right.
stirring that stuff up. Versus
I'm sure
this is
they
a public place where you can come into Sally
Yeah.
House and everything comes in here, all
everyone's
walks of
bringing
life.
all their equipment that's been in other places and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
there people were doing it well, and even in the Sally House, in the basement, allegedly, the legend goes, there's a pentagram that's permanently placed on the floor because of somebody came in and did some satanic
Paintings.
experiments.
Yeah.
Some, what do you call it? Some of the occult
Rituals
things.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, rituals and stuff. But supposedly they painted over and it keeps seeping back up that you
Yeah.
can't cover it up. And now it's just
Makes
a
you
big
wonder if it's
smear.
blood that they used.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what rituals do. That's
I
why
mean,
satanic goes.
Kind of like
But-
the Hutch
yeah.
House, that we still
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get into.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you talked about that. How it's because of the proteins in the
Jeremiah,
blood.
Jeremiah
Yeah.
even said it was the protein in the
Proteins, yeah.
blood that
So-
keeps coming back up. So
Stupid
Definitely.
goat.
or chickens or something.
Or chicken
That's
blood,
making me
yeah.
hungry. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. So like I said, I can see why maybe Amityville is maybe not as popular. And who knows? Maybe it is scary as shit in there, and they're not wanting to come out and say it.
Maybe.
Well, that could be too, yeah. I mean,
They don't want people. I mean,
Well-
everybody has enough notoriety behind it. and
I
that's
do
what you
have to
want.
admit though, people keep moving.
Yeah.
a lot.
They don't.
Oh, yeah.
They don't stay there for too long.
Yeah, it was for sale, and maybe it's in the last 5 to 7 years. I want to say maybe.
It's for sale now, I
Oh, is
believe.
it again?
But they also
3.1.
they also claim that it's also because they're sick of people coming up and
That
gawking
makes
at it.
perfect sense. Yeah, because
So
they've tried altering it, painting it different colors, changing the windows and everything, and yeah, now it's like nothing like it used to look. So that's the Amityville house we're talking about, not the Sally house. But
Amityville, yeah.
yeah, so who knows? I mean, it is what it is.
So what'd you hear about on the Warren documentary?
I mean, basically, they went a little bit of history, how they met, how they first got into the paranormal, how Ed came across it as a child in his houses. His father said, well, there's an explanation for everything, walked away. So,
Of course,
Well,
there's-
especially back then, because it's so taboo. They
Right.
don't talk about, hey, I'm having demons and angels flying around my head and whatever else.
yeah, you're looking in the 30s because,
Yeah.
they met when they were 16 and 15, just before the war.
Oh wow.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they talked about that. They went over a little bit of their case history of all their big ones, The Conjuring, Annabelle.
Edenville. Or Eden's, what's it called? Edenfield? in London or in England, whatever. The one that Conjuring 2 is based upon. Evansfield, isn't it?
I think so.
Sorry.
Well, they were mainly talking about the ones in PA, in New Hampshire,
in Northeast,
in that area.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's going to be a part 2 by feeling
why
how they're
wouldn't you?
doing it. So
Yeah.
they, Tony Spear was on there talking about things, and his wife, the daughter of Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah, he's a son-in-law.
Yeah, they were on there, and it's a pretty good story. Jason Hawes was on there, and he spoke good, even though in their book, Jason Grant didn't much care for them back in the days, but
Oh, really?
they talked good up on them in
Good.
there. So
I don't think Jason and Grant were too much onto the whole psychic thing.
Probably
Just
not. No,
psychic
I noticed they even,
technology.
yeah. Well, even on their show when they had Ghost Hunters Academy, remember that show for
Oh, yeah.
2 seasons?
Yeah.
It gave us 2 good paranormal investigators out of it, and Susan Slaughter and Adam Berry.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, thank God for that. But anyways, they were talking about, people would come on and they would say, "Oh, I have a gift," or "I have whatever, I have a special." Even like what we talk about, sensitivity towards it. They're like, they were bad mouthing, not bad mouthing. They were saying we don't definitely want them on their team for that reason. That they're not influenced by anything.
Right.
So yeah, they don't really think, they use mediums and stuff like that, but they don't really embrace it like most teams would.
Yeah, it's a hard line,
It is,
especially when you want to go into a place and figure it out on your own with equipment and everything that we know what to
Right.
look for with our own senses and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being told by somebody, "Oh, go look over here because she's standing over here and she looks like this," and everything like that.
Right.
Okay, you might be able to see that, but you can't prove it.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do what we can to prove it.
Well, even
That
stuff
it's there.
Well, even the stuff that we use and do. I mean, how much is it proof for a fact? We don't know.
Yeah.
We're just trying to capture the best that we
get
can
a
with
voice.
scientific tools such
Yeah.
as this. A
We get a
recorder.
voice, we capture a photograph, we capture a video,
Yeah.
if that even happens.
Right.
But we're doing our best to actually do that.
Right.
And seeing, with our sight, our feelings, our, feelings as in touch.
Yeah.
Feeling like cold spots to everything else.
Right.
To, to walk into an area that makes you sick.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You've had that happen before.
Right.
Hair stand up,
Right.
the electricity in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, different things like that. That's what we can do, but when you start mixing in somebody who has a gift
Right.
Proclaimed gift.
or claimed gift, the client or whoever is there is going to start leaning more toward them because,
Right.
well, it's a psychic, it's a medium, so
Right.
it does no good for our job really.
Oh yeah.
It makes it more difficult.
It does. It does.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that, and also that person can also influence everybody else around it.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just the client, but other people that are, I don't know, may not want to listen to us anymore and more toward, well, so and so said this and this and this is
Yeah.
the name that they're getting and everything. It's like, well, okay, if we've been going to a place for like many, many years and we're not caught any of that yet.
Yeah.
So how are we to believe them and they believe us, and it becomes a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my
Right.
opinion.
No, it's tough. I mean, we've seen it even in close quarters as far as when we use mediums and whatnot. Some of the other people around were like, the medium says, "Oh, I feel sick," and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I feel sick too." I mean, do they?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Right.
not. I mean, how much was it influence mind over matter kind of a
Right.
thing? We don't know.
That's why I like going to Lena, like after we've gone somewhere
Mm-hmm.
or talked to the people at least,
Sure.
and thinking, okay, maybe we'll go a different route. And instead of us going there, let's have you talk to Lena.
Yeah. See what
Lena
she
can
picks up on.
can talk to you, and maybe she might in turn turn around and say, you know what? Let's have the guys come out.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I like that.
Oh, I did too.
So,
yeah.
and I've actually recently done that with Lena. I actually
Mhm.
had to call her because none of us were going to get around very quickly to this house that was having some issues,
Yeah.
causing some medical issues at their place. And we I got into some COVID issues and everything like that, and I needed to lock myself up and not really travel to anybody's home and be like, hey, I'm here. Let me cough everywhere. Yeah, it wasn't me, but it was somebody in the house that I was, where we live in. But
Right.
But everything came out clear, negative, so we're good. But I had to contact Lena and say, hey, can you help these people out?
Right.
If they call, can you help them out? She said, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
and then, and just like that, I just asked her, I said, how are they doing? She goes, I think they're going to be just fine.
Cool. And sometimes that's all it is.
Yeah.
I just have something going on.
Yeah.
And I've just had a couple people contact me recent weeks say, I have something going on, but I know with Corona, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, I know it's probably going to be difficult for you guys to get around and stuff, but I just wanted some advice. And that's kind of the case you were saying. They maybe even said, yeah, stuff is happening, but it's not as like spooky or, threatening or whatever you want to call it. But I would like to know what's going on.
Right.
Can you have somebody contact me, talk me through this kind of a thing? And that was the case with this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so be it. So, but we're still out there actively hunting, and I know a lot of teams are out there, and I've seen there's a lot of paracons going on still, which I'm like, I mean,
pisses me off.
Well, because we didn't get to go to ours, the KC one, which was a huge.
It was going to be so big.
It was growing by the minute, pretty much, and then last minute it was like the city of Kansas City said, nope, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, which I mean, that's not for us. That's the city, and that was the Missouri side saying no, not even the Kansas side.
Yeah, which is shocking,
Yeah. So.
I know.
Either way, we'll come back next year and go to it again.
Bigger and better.
More fun.
Yeah.
So, but just it's crazy. I mean, we have gotten more phone calls with like you said, with more people being around and home, working from home, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's part of it's always been there and they're just noticing because they're home, or if it's because of the effects of the sicknesses that are going around and whatnot. Is it altering their minds a little bit? Because that's one of the things they said possibly that it could, have a lasting effect if you had corona. So, are they seeing things in a different realm? Who knows? I don't know.
Is it the alcohol?
What?
Staying at home with nothing to do?
That's probably, maybe. I don't know.
But no, it's been interesting lately, so.
Yeah, for sure. So, continue on with Ed and Lorraine. What else grabbed your fancy?
Well, I mean, they talked about the Conjuring House. I mean, that was one of the bigger ones they were talking about.
Yeah, it's the main one. Everybody knows, other than the Amityville.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it was a pretty good story. Boy, I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. I don't want to blow it out of the water for everybody, but they were letting you listen to some lost tapes that no one's got to hear, and some interviews of Ed with the people there. There's one where I'm trying to think of what's the name of the nun? The demon, not the nun itself. Valkyr.
It's with the B. Balba. God, she's right there. Ask her.
Yes.
It's Balba. I'll get it. Baba Sheba or something like that. Let me pull it up real quick here while you're trying to figure it out.
Valkyr.
I don't know her name. Dang it. I know there's different stories.
Bathsheba or something?
Well,
Bathsheba.
the actual demon, not the nun.
Oh, not the nun they said it was. Oh, I gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Valkyr or something of that nature, but
Keep saying it.
exactly.
One more time.
No. They were showing the video of the actual man that was possessed by that demon that had the upside down cross on the neck and all that. If you ever watched the movie, but they were showing where they tried to go and plead a case in court where a demon made him kill. I can't remember who it was, but an individual, and killed him. And of course, the courts didn't follow for it. But yeah, it was kind of neat. I can't remember what his damn name was.
We'll see. Bathsheba is the one they were blaming.
Bathsheba,
supposedly. Bathsheba Sherman, I think her name was. She lived down the street, and it supposedly wasn't even around at that time. or whatever it was nice and all this stuff, and I don't know, was it Lorraine that picked up on Bathsheba? That's how that got spread around.
It might have been, yeah.
I was trying to see if I could find anything on that demon you were talking about. I don't see it quite yet, which doesn't mean anything. But
I'm looking it up now.
oh, you're trying to look too? Okay. But no, anyways, yeah, the house itself is still, I mean, there's owners now, and of course a couple people have gone in there and investigated everything from Ghost Adventures. They were one of the first people to go back in, and the episode was cool at times. I mean, if it was real, you know, they were seeing this black mass shadow walking around when supposedly nobody was in the house, and they thought it might have been the demon
Right.
re-emerging. They
Yeah.
also, what? Oh, the junior said something.
Okay.
And I know Kindred Spirits, that was me, sorry. Kindred Spirits went in there recently too with Adam, Barry, and oh goddamn, what's her name? Amy Bruni. Sorry, I was like, God, it's your I'm like, how do I forget her?
I was like, you're so close.
I was
You're
just
so
like,
close.
But anyway, they went in there, and I want to say some other teams went in there too. Was it the Tennessee Wraith Chasers went in there or something
Oh,
like
of course
that?
they did.
So,
There's 3 or 4 of them that just
Yeah.
recently went
but
back
Zach
in there
and
again.
team was one of the first ones to go in there.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was a 2-hour. That wasn't the Halloween special, was it? Last year.
It was their Halloween special,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
So Charles says it's not Beetlejuice, is it?
Not Beetlejuice.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. And I kept saying when I said say it once
Don't say
more.
the third
It's
time,
like
yeah,
Beetlejuice,
exactly.
Beetlejuice.
No.
But yeah, I couldn't find this spirit's name. But like I said, the demon's name. But I didn't, like I said, dive into it. Well, I can just here. Let's just do this. We're gonna play this game here. Let me just pull it up.
Find the demon name.
I'll make you guys say it. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Not 3 times.
Why 3? Why not 4?
As much as it
Did you
takes.
say 4? That's fine.
Does 4
Yeah.
cancel it out?
Maybe.
And never
Yeah, but-
have they tested that out?
No.
Oh, this is the movie. Dang it! I want the movie.
Yeah, they were showing though, like when they right after the Amityville thing, they got real popular and started doing the talk show circuit and showing the demonologist book. They were, I can't even remember the Ed Sullivan, I believe, Ed Sullivan's show. They went on there, Tommy and Tommy Chong and yeah, they were on there making fun of them.
Oh, right.
They walk away from them. It was good stuff. Good
Like I
stuff.
said, I plan on watching. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I've been a little busy.
Yeah, again, I think they're going to do another one. 'Cause, I mean,
Sure.
it left a lot of
course they are.
open ending there, but
Yeah. I'm intrigued what you said about they played some of the old like recordings and stuff like that. I love
Right.
those recordings because they're not like digital today. There's
Right.
the original, real tapes or whatever, and they're kind
most of them are
scratchy. Yeah.
little cassettes, or
Yeah.
8mm reels.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about the Holzer files. I mean,
Yes.
because his are original recording, and they're just creepy sounding. Have you ever watched that show, Jason? Yet?
Not yet.
You need to watch it. The whole
What's it on?
Travel Channel.
Travel
Channel.
Yeah.
Can I
Um,
stream it? Sorry.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's Dr. Holzer's, Hans Holzer is his name. He was recording back in the 60s, is that what it was, or even earlier?
40s to
40s.
60s,
Okay.
I believe.
And he had his own like psychic person he worked with, and she's the one that does a lot of the talking. Like they channel through her, supposedly the spirits do, and everything like that. And her voice alone is pretty
Wow.
frightening. I mean, the way she talks, it's just like
Well, the psychic on Poltergeist, the little lady,
Oh yeah.
I told you, Tangia,
Candia. Holzer's
based upon that.
is based on her. Yeah.
Really?
So yeah, her voice when she gets possessed or what have you on the tapes is
Tangina, I guess
scary.
is her name.
Man.
Tangina Barons.
Poltergeist was a crazy movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, loosely based on a true story, so it's
Right.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the fact that, I mean, it brought up my childhood, It's like, I remember being, like, on the couch. It was me and my mom, my brother, And by the end of the movie, we're like under the covers
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, you know, and it was just like so freaky and everything
Yeah.
like that.
When
you
they
know.
fill in the swimming pool.
Yeah, which
With-
is real.
Shit.
With real skeletons.
They didn't even
Yes.
they didn't even bother to remove
Yeah.
them. It's just
Well, the
They didn't
guy
know.
ordered them wrong and got
didn't
them
know
from a
they were-
medical place.
yeah, those are real skeletons.
So those are
So-
real bodies in the
Okay.
pool.
Let's
you
go
know.
down that avenue.
Okay.
What do you think? Because you all know about the poltergeist curse.
Yeah.
That supposedly, where I mean, things happen. Obviously, Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
She
Okay,
passed
so
away. You know, from that stomach disease.
She got
after
sick,
3.
yeah.
And the original daughter, she passed away because she was murdered.
She was murdered.
Yeah. And so did ahead.
So, I forgot what the wife's name was. The mom.
she's still around.
Right. I forgot what her name was. But she remembers going back to like her apartment
yeah.
or whatever where she was
Mhm.
staying. And every time she'd walk in, like, the paintings and any pictures
that's
on the
right.
wall were like turned, angling a certain direction, and furniture was was just changed and everything like that. And
Jo Beth Williams.
Jo Beth Williams.
Yeah.
I knew it was Williams. I just didn't want. I kept
Yeah.
thinking Billy D. Williams, but that's a guy.
That's
That's Lando Calrissian. Come
I
on.
know. Yeah, I mean, just the stories that they kept coming up with, you know, and just saying weird things kept happening
Right.
around them while they were doing it. And it's like, is it a state of mind, knowing that they're going to work to do a creepy ass movie,
Mm-hmm.
or is it like real paranormal stuff that was happening to them?
Well, what I
mean-
was going to ask you, with them getting the wrong skeletons, you know, not the fake props, the
Yeah.
actual thing, do you think that maybe unleashed some of it? Because supposedly the place was built on an Indian burial ground, that old folklore
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, that's
that
the
does
premise
have
of
some
the
weight.
place. That's the premise of the story.
Yeah.
Um,
Could that have sparked some of these curses, or
You know,
just the movie itself?
the bodies are
asking for
not
it?
being used for what they're supposed to be used for,
Right.
and it's almost
just
like
spitballing.
desecrating the body
Right,
in a way. You know, they're being thrown into a swimming pool and then used as props.
Yeah.
You know, it's
mm-hmm.
kind of one of those things. It could be opening that door. That energy has to be something.
They use the infamous TV scene when she's touching it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's white noise. That's what we talk through
That's white
every
noise.
time we go through SB7.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's white noise.
Absolutely.
So who knows? I mean, and that was made in 1982. That
Yeah.
movie. That's how long it's been.
But still, part 2, your favorite. The old
I just
priest.
like that one scene with
The
the
old priest coming down,
yeah,
singing and talking.
Oh.
yeah.
He's,
favorite things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just how creepy it is, man. That guy looks creepy enough
Oh,
as it
yeah.
is. And he's just an old man, but it's the fact that he played that role so
But
well.
both
Yeah.
movies like really just kept with me for my whole life,
Uh huh.
you know, and
Part 3 wasn't scary. It was just
No.
more. This one
No.
stood in the apartment complex with the parking
Yeah.
lot. It just like it was more jump scare than anything it's supposed to
and
be.
she didn't even finish the movie.
Yeah,
'cause
that's when
passed
she
away.
passed away. So
But
yeah, we actually talked about all that on an early episode of Cryptic Heartland, like episode 3, 4, 5, or
yeah,
something
it's
like that.
like
right?
about curses,
curses and stuff like
you
that. We
know.
talked about all those. Yeah,
Talking about the Superman curse.
yeah. The Kennedy
like that,
curse.
yeah.
Yeah. All that
Which,
fun stuff.
You know, we had a member on the team that was, you know, totally against the idea that it's not, curses aren't real like that, and it's what make, you know, and I was like, stop playing devil's advocate.
I curse all the time.
Yeah, but
Boo, bad joke.
you know, there's a lot of weird things.
Trying to think who else. So the death curse. Let's see here. Dominic Dunn, who was the daughter, the older daughter,
Right.
she was the one that got murdered right after the
She had a
movie wrapped up.
stalker.
Yeah. That was her ex. It was strangled by an abusive ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, he was
And she died
stalking
5
her
days
and
later,
doing weird
yeah.
things, and yeah,
So there was that. He only got 6 years for doing that.
wow.
That's terrible. It says O'Rourke became ill 4 months before the release of Poltergeist 3. Was taken to the hospital. She ended up dying of cardiac arrest and septic shock from an undiagnosed Crohn's disease. She was only 12 at the time.
Wow.
Oh, who else? Somebody else had stomach cancer, like some of the producers and stuff. And then the Indian guy in part 2, Will Sampson, he ended up dying of complications from a lung. I cannot talk. Complications from a heart-lung transplant. Damn, there's a bunch of these things. Okay. Yeah, so is it the curse real? Is it because of the movie itself?
Do you
or-
believe in curses?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like I'm cursed most days of my life anyway. It's because of karma and shit. I mean, yeah, but some of the stuff I brought on by myself, some of the stuff, like when we go out and investigate in some areas, pushing the limits on some things. I mean, Tahlequah, I always talk about that case, how it followed me back to Kansas. And it followed Brandon Callahan back to Kansas City, so why not?
Don't affect the video, Tahlequah.
Yeah, don't.
Tahlequah. Beetlejuice. I'm not scared. Bring it, bitch.
But what about like the King Tut curse?
I mean,
When they opened up the tomb and everybody's just started having accidents and getting ill and stuff like that.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Well, how much of that is because they, mummified a body? I mean, how much is that to get natural gases of the body?
Well, when they popped open the door, the tomb and stuff, and all that stuff that was being enclosed forever, they breathed it in.
Yeah, I mean, how much of that is related? I mean, I don't know.
Because today, I would actually go in with like a mask on or something like that, some kind of breathing apparatus, so I could go in there and not be exposed to it. Now, as of right now, I'm sure it's all pretty cleared out since they have it pretty open. And,
Which was that in Destination Truth where they went down there, Josh?
Yes. Oh my God.
That's right.
Yeah,
he was hearing things inside and out.
He went down there. So as soon as they arrived, a freak sandstorm came.
That's right.
Then one of their team members, the camera guy I think was, got really sick.
Really ill.
Had to almost get him out of there. So then Josh goes down and stays by himself down in the tomb. And as he's down there by himself, you can hear voices talking. Now, it is a TV show, but I do trust Josh.
I do too.
I'm a huge fan. You are too.
Right.
You can hear the voices, and it sounds like somebody moving around in the hallways and stuff like that of the tomb, in shadows. And he kept hearing it. And you could see he was legitimately nervous about the situation too.
Well, he kept seeing, lights coming from the entrance that he thought somebody was coming in to.
Kept radioing in and said, "Hey, is that you coming down for me?" "No, we're outside, Josh." He goes, "I'm seeing lights."
Yeah, and they captured it on camera.
Yeah.
You can see these balls of light look like flashlights.
Yeah.
That, once again, I mean, take it for what it is.
And he's not one to do much ghost hunting. He doesn't.
He doesn't like paranormal.
Yeah, it freaks him out.
He was invited. I remember when I went out to the David Oman house. We were talking just shop all up to the between his podcast and our investigation later on. He was telling me he invited Josh Gates to his house. He's like, "Dude, come to my house. This is you want paranormal. This is where you want to be." And Josh was like, "I'm not coming to your house. Don't mess with that stuff. I'm gonna do it for the show. I don't want to do it." He's afraid of paranormal. I mean, not that.
I can see that.
He's an archaeologist. I mean, that's what his degree is, and he's about the exploration, and and he'll do it. It's just that that's not his passion like ours. We're all passionate about the paranormal. I mean, he'll do it if he has to. But I think, we talked about the board camp Crystal Mine, the alien thing and the paranormal thing. How freaked out he was down there.
Yeah, and Jay came back with some awesome stories about all that.
Yeah, and Jay got first-hand accounts from the owners, down there, and they said Josh was genuinely freaked out by something. And
he had to sit down, and they were trying to calm him down.
Yeah,
he saw lights and stuff out there and something happened that startled the hell out of him.
Not sure if it was alien related or if it was paranormal, Bigfoot, all the above. Who knows? But whatever the case may be,
he was not ready for that. I don't think he wasn't expecting
shocked him. Yeah.
So, because can you imagine being Josh and going out to all these locations all the time, and probably being a little disappointed by not having stuff happen or not finding what he was looking for or anything like that,
Right.
And a lot of times that's how it happens on the show. I mean, you're in that location, you've heard the stories and the legends, and you still don't find it.
Right.
But when something does happen, oh my God.
Now
it's a freak out moment.
Yeah.
Like like you were talking about last weekend, the forest and the guy being yanked out and captured on camera. He disappears, and it freaked him out.
Oh yeah, Evan.
And it freaked out Josh too, I think. But
well, yeah, because he was hearing all the women, the whispering. They think it's witches supposedly out there, and he was hearing the female audible.
And behind
whispers
and all those balls of lights that were just coming around and turning like that,
He even saw.
It was awesome.
remember he saw it. Was it him that saw it, or one of his crewmen saw the guy behind the other guy? Like they had the thermal, remember, and they
Yeah.
were seeing something standing behind
Yeah.
his teammate, whatever. Basically, and it was basically scaring the crap out of him, which is awesome.
But he, so I remember Josh having, he went to the Queen Mary,
Mm-hmm.
and he had Grant Wilson, Amy, and Adam,
Right.
and that was just, last year, or maybe 2018?
Oh, I can't even remember.
It wasn't that long ago when they were doing that, and they were testing out the SLS on there.
Oh,
and-
yes.
And it was freaking him out with how the SLS was showing somebody, like moving around them and stuff like that, and
Right.
we've got that, ourselves in live.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best moments I've ever seen of that was not really at the shop, but it was actually in Old Fort Dodge. When Jake had his SLS going, and there's no electricity in that place, there's no running water, and there's somebody walking around upstairs.
On the
We
second floor, yeah.
all go up to the second floor. Next thing you know, there's this figure, and it was like
Mhm.
reaching out to people, and it was like we trapped it kind of in a corner.
Then it went up.
It went up into like almost like Spider-Man, in a way.
Right.
The REM pod was going off. It's crazy. See, that's what I love doing in capturing that. It's using our own abilities, using our equipment, and showing what we can do.
Right.
And capturing and not being afraid to run, like some shows,
Dude.
I
but
don't-
actually going toward it and stuff like that. And,
Right.
I didn't need anybody to tell me where it was or anything. We just went and did it.
Ran after it, yeah.
Yeah. So I love it.
Yep. That's why we do it. I mean, for the adventure, for the thrill factor, but mostly for the historical and obviously helping the clients because that's what they want. They reached out to us and wanted to know, am I crazy? No. I
Sometimes.
mean, well, yeah, we've encountered some of those, which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
we're crazy for going to places, total strangers' house, that we don't know who these people are.
Exactly.
And that could be Charles Manson, for like you talked about earlier. Charles Manson.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But anywho,
Got a
so
little knife a little deeper there.
so what else did you pick up on that show from Ed and Lorraine? Was there anything special about it? I mean, what stood out most about it? Was one of their cases, or just the storyline, or any of the evidence they played?
Well, mainly listen to some of the older tapes again.
Mhm.
Listen to some of their actual investigations and some of their evidences that they were talking about. A couple of the actual parishes, the churches that came and did the exorcism. There's
Oh,
two of them
right.
on there that would talk in stories. Yeah, it's kind of neat. And how Ed used to, a lot of the time the churches would not want to come in and do the exorcism just on their word,
Right. Not on
and the
there.
church would back down. And they talked about how Ed would use publicity, the news crews, sorry,
You're fine.
and the media to get the church cornered
Mm-hmm.
to actually do the exorcism, and that was several times that they did that. So that was kind of neat to see. But yeah, that I don't know. I need to watch it all again.
You're really selling it, Dan.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding around. No, I'm definitely going to watch it too. I can't wait. I'm glad you reminded me because, like I said, I was so preoccupied with everything that I totally forgot, honestly. But I'm definitely going to watch it, give it a gander.
Yeah, and see, I mean, like I say, there's 2 or 3 cases on there that I wasn't very familiar with, which I'm going to look into more now because one of them was a house in, I think it was Pennsylvania, that they were talking about, and it was pretty cool. I mean, they had, the police called them there.
Oh, well.
They were having issues with furniture moving around the room, refrigerators sliding out in front of 10 people that watched it happen. Rocking chairs, 3 of them, or actually recliners, 3 of them in the living room, and simultaneously opening up, shutting, with people in it.
Oh, wow.
They all blamed it. The police chief was part of it there, and they were coming in. They're going to do an exorcism and all that stuff, and the police chief sat there and finished his investigation. Said the 9-year-old girl that was in the house was actually doing all of it.
Oh, really? Like controlling it, or just pretending?
Physically doing it when people were looking.
So
moving.
faking it.
Yeah, faking.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like was.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But again, they had actual, tapes of investigations of officers stating, yeah, I've seen this 450-pound refrigerator just slide out and slide across the kitchen right in front of me. 9-year-old girl didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
But, you know,
exactly.
So that case was closed right away. So that one's a good story. I want to look into it and see what happened, on the end of it. So,
Right. Huh. Now, like I said, I'm definitely gonna give it a go and watch. And I don't know. I'm anxious to see because
yeah.
I knew it was coming, and I'm glad I set my DVR for it because otherwise I would have totally forgot. But,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
So have you guys watched the new Unsolved Mysteries?
I watched a couple episodes.
Did you?
No.
Yeah.
I
No?
haven't.
On Netflix?
No.
It's all brand new. It's all like bringing back the old time style. But there's no narration, so there's no Robert Stack. But they do, in the intro, they do have like his image pops up. Just
Really?
in the very end of the intro, so you get
That
the
part's
feel.
cool.
That part's really cool. It's like a homage to him.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
but no, they have some pretty cool, of course, murder mysteries and stuff like that. And it's unsolved mystery, so of course they don't have any answers. Case is cold, but they do have a UFO case on there
Already?
that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Some of the claims to it is phenomenal. I think like over certain counties and stuff like that, we're seeing the lights and
In the U.S.?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a cool one. I'm not going to ruin it. You got to watch it.
Ruin
It's just. What, you want me to tell a little bit?
I don't care.
Okay. So I'll just kind of jump into the middle of it. I'm not going to tell you where it's from or anything like that, mainly because I can't remember. But it's a good episode to watch. It's on Netflix. So a little bit because it's multiple encounters.
Right.
All in this one city and around the county and stuff like that they're having possible abductions and everything. And it's so this mother and daughter, the mom doesn't drive anymore. She's grandma. So she doesn't drive anymore. So they're driving out, and it's it's nighttime when they another car is stopped up ahead, and they're pulled over and everything. So they stop and pull over because there's this bright light up ahead, and they get out, and of course she has their kids in the back too. They get out, and of course they see the object. They see a hovering craft, and well,
Right.
that's all they remember. They wake up. It's sometime later. They wake up down the road, and they are back in the car. Can't remember anything. They said this is where we knew it went wrong
Right.
because Grandma is sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Everything else was perfect except the aliens, Bob or whoever the dumb alien was, didn't get the women right. They probably just was like, oh fuck,
Damn it, Bob.
So they got Grandma sitting in the driver's seat, and she's like all panicked because she doesn't even know
Right.
why she's there. Even the grandkids are like, why is Grandma driving? She doesn't drive. And that's where they're like, okay, something happened
Right.
that blocked our memory of what happened there. And then there's another boy who was abducted.
Yeah, that one's crazy too.
He's up in the ship, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks over and he sees a girl that he knows. And she's just like a little freaked out too, and they don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like it's a great story. It
It's
really
a weird.
is.
I mean, well, every episode in that.
Yeah.
It's like what, maybe 8 episodes.
There's
doing
Kansas murder.
That one's cool.
An
Well, not
unsolved
cool,
murder
but
case.
it's very
That
intriguing.
the FBI has recently opened back up because of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Really?
It was
Okay.
such a
Yeah.
big to do that people. I mean, they claim they know who did it. The people in the town where it happened, but it's one of these towns where a prominent family, we'll just call it, has a lot of say, influence on people that nobody will come forward,
Okay.
so, per se. But yeah, that one's crazy. I mean, that was good because Jason told me about it. I watched it that
Yeah.
day, and I was next day I was all over it.
I know, he was like sending me pictures and stuff and articles and stuff like that.
I'm
And
like, read this, read that.
read this about this story and everything. I'm like, dude, man, that's quick.
Oh,
That's some quick action there.
I had never heard of this. The town number one. Well, I've seen it on like the
Right.
map, but I never. It's not off the beaten path. I mean, it's off the beaten path, should I
Yeah.
say? Where it's not even anywhere near.
It's
It's just south of Kansas City, we'll say.
Yeah, southeast Kansas.
Okay.
Or Kansas City,
Yeah,
not Kansas. Southeast Kansas, northeast.
I thought it was like south.
It's south
Up
of
there.
Kansas City. No,
Yeah.
it's up by. Because they talk about Gardner, if you know anything.
Yeah, Gardner. That's
Yeah, I
right.
know
It's south of
Gardner's
Gardner.
South of Kansas City, yeah, basically.
south
So,
of Gardner.
Olathe and all that stuff, which this town is unbelievable. If it's the way they say it, it's pretty, we'll just call it racist, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not Pomona, is it?
No, it's,
No.
Okay.
I can't say it. Lucina?
Yeah, it's a different name.
Lucina?
It's Lacygne. Lucina.
Okay.
So they say it. And
It's one of those
predominantly-
towns. It's
Yeah.
definitely.
It reminds me of something you
it's all
see in the
white.
South versus Kansas, which is
Yeah.
Really?
well.
Okay.
I mean, kinda. I mean, but you think that's where the border, where John Brown and all that stuff back in the days, the
Yeah.
slave wars happened and everything, Civil War happened. So I mean, it's not
Yeah.
surprising, honestly.
But
I was just dumbfounded that this type of activity still exists so close to home, literally.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good series if you want to watch it. They've got more coming. I read up on it. They've got some paranormal episodes coming
Cool.
on it
Good.
too.
Yeah.
So,
Have a little bit of everything right
Yeah.
now in this first.
and I love it. That's
Right.
how it used to be back in the day. That's where I
Yeah.
first learned about Queen Mary.
Oh,
Robert Stack was, inside the Queen Mary and telling the story.
Yeah.
But there's no narrative, so it's just interviews of the people
Yeah.
Really?
and
Okay.
seeing on location and some flashbacks and stuff like that, some newsreels. But it's the people who actually lived it are telling the story.
Told the stories. And, okay,
So,
good.
It's very cool.
Just that intro alone is just.
oh,
God,
when they
it gives
show
me-
Robert Stack,
It's haunting in a way, if
Yeah.
that makes any kind
it's
of
almost
sense.
like
Yeah.
a ghostly figure of him staring
It's
back at you
freaking
as it
awesome,
fades out.
yeah.
And everything. It's so cool. But
But sorry.
there is the one episode, beware, when you do watch it,
Oh, yeah.
it's all French.
Yeah.
There are no subtitles. You have to turn on your subtitles and get it going there.
All French?
It's because it happens in France.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
everybody is being in, and they don't warn you about it. Corey and I are watching it, going, surely there's going to be a narrative on this one, right? Sure, but no, there's
No.
not.
No,
But
surely.
it's an actually really good episode. It's very sad, very tragic.
Okay.
So it's worth a shot.
I used to watch that back in the 70s
Charles.
and 80s. I loved it. Sure, yeah.
Talking about Lucina, he said a lot of bed sheets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately.
that bad. I just couldn't believe this place still existed. I
Right.
mean, in Kansas,
Wow.
man. It's just whatever. I'm sure there's more of those places. Now I'm all thinking about all the places we go when we investigate. How many of those places are like that?
Right.
And I'm oblivious to it, and I'm pretty. Obviously, I'm not white,
You're not?
so I don't know.
Well, Saturday, I guess it wasn't Saturday, it was Monday.
Uh-huh.
No, Sunday. I don't know, 3-day weekend. When we were driving up north, going to
Mm-hmm.
check out, we went to Cottonwood Falls and Pomona. Going back, we decided not to come back on 35, going across north central
Mhm.
Kansas.
Take the back roads.
Never been to any of those places. Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think about all the stuff that happened from Native American times to the 60s,
Right.
to now and everything.
Yeah.
All the blood and the horror and the tragedy and the sadness and
Yeah.
controversies and everything that's spilt on this land.
Yeah.
I mean, that we, the white folk actually brought on. It's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that is the cause of probably most of the stuff that we have going on today.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never really officially ended. It just,
Yeah.
I think growing up, I never really, I mean, I had brushes with it, but nothing like people
Did
who
you really?
lived it really had, trouble. Like my grandfather, not the one that just passed away this past weekend, the one, he died in January this year, my other one. He was a World War II vet and all this stuff, and was 100 miles away from Hitler when the war ended, basically. He was part of the military police, basically,
Wow.
over in France and all this stuff, and but he's from the U.S. Anyways, he was telling me a story that even when he was growing up still, well, he was born in 20s, I can't remember off the top of my head, mid-20s, and he just went through all kinds of different things, but he was saying he remembers basically they still had the whole white only like drinking fountains and restaurants, and he's Hispanic obviously, and he was getting affected by that. You always think black and white only, but it's actually Mexicans were treating just as bad. And this was as late as I think when it said 60s and 70s, I want to say he told me.
Shoot, even in the Old West it was a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You had outlaws who talked about, I killed Mexicans and Indians, and,
Right.
and Chinese men,
Yeah.
and they just went around and they bragged about it.
Yeah. But I guess I was just oblivious to it until you start telling me the stories. I'm like, wow, because I didn't see it per se, other than people making fun of me for whatever reason. But I was just like, okay, I was a kid, I didn't understand it.
Right.
So, but yeah, apparently it still exists even today's world, even more so, even obviously in Kansas. I mean,
it's coming out more and more with social media
Yeah.
and everything else. So
yeah, we definitely have that going on everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to think. Hopefully things will get changed.
Hope so.
I don't think LeBron and them and Colin Kaepernick, yes, it creates awareness, but I don't think they're the advocates for it, other than they have the highest platform, entertainment. Right. I mean, they're not going to make the change. They can't go tell the police what to do. They can't. Because, I mean, it's not all police, it's not all whatever, it's everybody's.
It's a collective.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Until we all can agree on something, it's never going to change.
Yeah. Until we all agree that Green Bay is going to win.
See?
Wow.
Sorry.
Exactly. This is what we're talking about.
Right.
We don't know it's the
Rodgers
Raiders
is
year.
on his last leg, Come on.
You better go somewhere new.
They
Yeah.
won't. No.
Yeah. No.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you got some
definitely check out like Jason said, Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix.
I will, yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna check out Ed and Lorraine, their life story on Travel Channel. It's a 2-hour special for that one, and Netflix has the 8 episode.
And check out Missing 411. There's 2 seasons to it.
What is it?
Missing 411.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Netflix or where?
Netflix has one of them
Oh.
that deals a lot about some crazy missing children cases and stuff that, I mean,
I've told you about this for a couple of years.
I know, and I finally watched it. There's books about it. There's books about it. So, and then Jake told me about another one about hunters and stuff like that.
Oh, that one.
That one.
Okay.
So that one is on Prime.
Okay.
So if you have Amazon Prime, it's on there. Corey and I watched it, and it just freaking blew my mind.
Okay.
About real quick, I'll just tell you one little snippet
go
of
ahead.
it and everything like that. That just doesn't make any sense.
Not just telling me, you're educating the viewers on this.
Tell everybody.
I'm telling everybody, but I'm telling you because I want you to watch it, but I don't want to ruin things for you. But I know you also have some videos you want to show us.
Oh, we got plenty of time
Okay.
for everything. So
Sweet.
We're good.
So on the one about children that I first watched, and that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Doesn't make any sense. And even Les Stroud, Survivor Man, goes on there to do the same hike that this little toddler did.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one. I've heard
So-
that story.
And he even said, he's like, there's no
no
way that this little toddler did this hike.
Right. That's
He
the
goes,
missing
and I'm an
child
adult,
one,
and I'm
right?
an experience.
Is that what it was? The missing child? Is that what it was? Or
Yeah,
okay,
missing
yeah,
child.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, and he's on there, and he gets his 2 cents about, you know,
Mhm.
all these stuff. But the one about hunters, the one that's on Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
talks about all these different cases of adults, mainly men, but there's a few women that go missing in the strangest ways.
Okay.
They disappear out of, like,
Thin air.
thin air. They're
Yeah.
right there with you. They're right there. So
Turn
this
around and
this group of family that was going out, and friends that were going to go out hunting.
Mhm.
So it's 4 old guys, and then they had their 4 or 5 younger sons and all that and grandsons that were going to go. So the 4 older guys, and they're older. They're probably in their late 60s or even maybe even in their 70s. Experienced hunters. They had all their gear. They kind of space out along the road, the dirt road, and then they walked into the woods, and they were going to stop a certain ways in and wait while the younger guys go drive out further up north and drive the deer closer to them and everything.
Gotcha.
Kind of do a cross shoot to them.
Mhm.
So the man in choice, the one of the story, he is the furthest one away from the group and from the car. He walks in. He's very experienced. They had radios, they had walkies, they had everything. I think they even had GPS. I believe they had GPS to them and everything like that. Walk in. They all do their hunting and everything like that, but they still couldn't get a hold of him. It's just a matter of minutes to
Right.
hours go by and nothing. He just like walked into the woods, disappeared. To this day, they've never found a single piece of clothing, equipment, nothing. It's almost like vanished in the thin air. They do remember that. I think 1 or 2 of them do remember, the older guys.
Mhm.
They heard a sound in the woods that made no sense. A sound that they've never heard before. And he said the best I can describe it is like a bear trap, but on a huge scale, making that kind of loud noise,
Mhm.
and then nothing.
Interesting.
And he's gone forever. They have yet to this day find him out there, and they have searched. They've had police and everybody out there horseback. They had everybody out searching it. They were doing in searches in ways that was genius.
Yeah.
In ways of searching. Nothing.
So, what do you think happened? I mean, because it could be many.
Well,
different
me, I
things.
always blame aliens, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, when you said you heard a weird sound. What if it?
I know.
What if it was some kind of big, like crevice or something he fell into?
Could
and
be, but
that's
they
what he
went
came
over
from?
to where he walked in, and they searched
Mhm.
that whole area, and nothing. Because they were only going to go in. So far, stop.
Right. No footprints, nothing, no
Nothing.
trail, nothing.
Nothing.
Hmm.
Not even his pack, not even his stuff. I mean, it was just gone.
And what about things like, I'm just throwing all kinds of shit out.
I
What
know.
about like spontaneous combustion?
No,
I mean, burned up.
No
in a
evidence
spot,
of
or you
anything
just saw
out
a
of the
brush fire or
ordinary.
something. You would have thought.
nothing out of the
Yeah.
ordinary. And he had food, he had water, he had stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could think that maybe somebody just abducted him.
Could be. But you just saw drag marks. You would have heard a scream. You would have heard
Something.
something. You would have thought.
Something.
Possibly, maybe.
A
What,
car drive
animal?
off or something.
An animal got him. Maybe you just saw some kind of
Trails
struggle, blood.
of
Maybe,
his,
hopefully.
clothes or something. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they walked in with all their hunting gear, clothes, and stuff like that. Just disappeared. But that's just one.
Right.
Then
That's
there's
one of many stories.
then there's other stories where they do find bodies, but how they got to this point, why did they get to this point?
Huh.
It's like mind blowing. It's
Yeah. And Dan, you watched all of these already?
Oh yeah,
I think
I've followed David Pilates for years,
Oh, I gotcha.
and he's the one that's done that. He's talked on Art Bell way
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day when I listened to Art Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got some good stories. He's got some good thoughts on what they are, what's happening.
there is one episode where it actually leans more toward the possibility of alien.
Hmm.
Now,
Bigfoot is his biggest.
yeah. Well, I mean
Yeah.
that's a
That's what I was
thing.
wondering too.
People were go out there and they go missing all the time.
Sure.
Who's to say Sasquatch isn't doing it? It was just in the news.
Right.
What was it, last year or the year before? So much of my life has happened in the last couple of years. But I think it was last year. It was in the news where this, I think he was 3-year-old, 4-year-old, something like that, went missing. They searched and he was out there for 3 days in the woods.
Right.
They find him sitting up on top
On
of
the
this
ledge.
huge
Yeah.
boulder that they're like, there's no way you could have done that. And they said, how did you get up here? He goes, my bear friend helped me.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And everyone's like, a freaking bear's not going to do that.
Right.
But he's like, he covered in hair.
Yeah.
A 2-foot tall Kodiak would do it.
I was gonna say.
Well, might have
yeah.
taken a foot with him too.
It wouldn't
but,
have made him. But
that would have been like one bite.
Well,
But,
maybe
I
he
mean-
didn't because he's such a small, non-threatening.
But if Sasquatch was with him,
thing.
heard him coming, he could have just popped him up there and just waited.
Yeah. True.
What do
I
you
don't
say?
Right. That's
That's
the story
what the
I
boy
thought you were
said.
talking about with this Hunters show. You're talking about the
Yeah,
missing
that
person.
wasn't on
I thought
there,
that's
but-
what you were saying when you
No.
remember that story too.
Yeah.
That when you're talking about now.
It's crazy
Uh-huh.
though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
these stories happen. So,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
can't
no.
explain it for that one boy.
Right.
How did you get up there on that? My bear friend helped me. We can all laugh about it, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well,
Charles said they did find for that story for that the missing hunter the no radio nothing. He said they did find his pack 100 yards from someone's house a year later. And I
okay.
kind of remember hearing something about
I
that
don't remember.
too, actually.
Well, the different story,
Not right.
Charles.
Right.
That's a different. That's a different hunter story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy who, the younger guy who actually walked off to go do something, and he ended up going a different path. And they
Oh.
started finding different things of his stuff along the way,
Hmm.
and on a property they did find. But I'm talking about the old guy that they never found anything of.
Oh, okay. Because with the sailor guy with the pack, was it maybe like a breadcrumb trail he was trying to leave to get his way back?
It
Maybe?
didn't make sense for what he was doing.
Oh, okay.
He was leaving everything behind that was sustainable for life.
Oh.
His
okay.
food, his water. He left his water, open and
Oh.
just weird things.
I got
And then they find his body.
Okay. Charles said that was a different one. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So the older guy, the old guy that they start the episode with, it just like, what happened to him?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I know. I know.
I'm definitely gonna watch him. 'Cause I remember you guys. I think it's probably you that mentioned it, and
I kinda wanna
I remember
watch it
Jake
again.
saying that earlier this year. I want to say or something.
See, we just kind of stumbled across the one about the children on Netflix.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Corey
great.
and I are always trying to find different documentaries that are kind of
Yeah.
like about mysteries and stuff. And
Right.
and then Jake said, "Hey, you gotta check out the one about the hunters." And I'm
Oh, maybe
like,
that's when he mentioned.
I was
it.
like, "Oh, okay."
I can't remember
And
him saying something like that.
so we
Okay.
found it on Prime. So and there it is.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch because I love all that kind of.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like the
story.
stuff makes you leaving. Obviously scratching your head, but also like feeling, oh God, what could that happen to me, or kind of a thing. It kind of
Maybe.
scare you a little bit, or whatever.
I mean, those children. There's some of them that are like actually following one of the adults.
Oh yeah.
And they're talking to him and
allegedly,
everything, and then they're
yeah.
walking, and all of a sudden the kid's not there anymore.
Yeah, allegedly falling on an adult.
Allegedly, yeah.
Maybe it's a doppelganger of something shapeshifter. Excuse me.
Shapeshifter.
Yeah, shapeshifter. Can't say it. But I mean, who knows? So you think it's? What do you think? Is it aliens, or is it Bigfoot, or is it
I don't know.
paranormal, or is it?
Does somebody
Native
just
American?
become like totally, I don't know, like mentally disoriented?
Possible if you're
Like
dehydrated.
that
yeah.
one hiker, the guy, not hiker, he was out hunting with his friends and he just disappeared. He says he's going back to the spot where they have like all their stocked
Mm-hmm.
food, or I guess, or whatnot, and he just like goes and takes a different route on the map,
Right.
and never makes it back, and everyone's like, where is he?
Yeah. That's my stomach growling now.
And
don't know
I
yet.
heard that from here. Damn. So,
I'm possessed.
but yeah, so he just disappears, and then all of a sudden you start losing all his stuff. I think he even takes his boots off at one point.
Weird.
And he
Yeah.
just, like, why?
Who knows? Yeah. Well, I mean,
it makes me also think about how people up at, like, in Everest,
Oh yeah.
You know, they start losing their mind and
That's
stuff like
different.
that.
That's altitude
That's
sickness.
altitude.
Yeah, which could happen in some of these places too, maybe. Cause,
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you talk about going to Colorado, and some of those places they're not very tall, but they're tall enough to where that does happen.
I mean, we're all different.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that,
Yeah.
chemical makeup of you didn't do very well on the mountain.
Could be, yeah.
You know,
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
know.
14,000 feet don't do you any good, but
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, people just start doing weird things. And, I don't know.
Sometimes not even. No, I was gonna say something, but
But you need to
Not 'cause of
listen to Dave Pilates,
Yeah.
same guy. He's got the story about his ideas on Bigfoot. I mean, he's got several of them, but one where, again, he believes that it possibly could be a lost band of Native Americans that are being protected by the Indian nation now.
What if Sasquatch is just actually the real life Wendigo?
oh, what?
The Wendigo.
Wendigo.
They said Wingo. I'm like, what's that?
Wendigo.
Wendigo. Yeah.
You know, which is supposedly,
Yeah.
a Native American
Right.
myth and legend and stuff like that. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows.
What if it's like a combination of like, it's not really a cannibalistic creature or anything like that, but who knows?
Well, they're taking children and stuff to repopulate their,
It's all aliens inside.
could be that as well.
No, you said it can't be interdimensional, so no, it can't be aliens. I'm just kidding. Nah, I don't know. It's one of the mysteries. Maybe none of it's real. I don't know. I mean, there's always that aspect. Maybe it's just a good old-fashioned story that I don't know.
I don't know. People are going missing for a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like Bigfoot and UFOs, maybe that shit doesn't
I don't
exist.
know. I've seen things that I can't explain, so.
Right. No.
And the only explanation I can come up with, when I'm staring down at the dirt and I see a footprint that's bigger than Brendan's,
Right.
bigger than both of his feet, basically. He can fit both feet inside this print, and there's the 4 toes, or 5 toes, sorry, 5. Damn.
The Simpsons?
But no, so you've got the 5 toes, and you can see
Yeah.
the imprint of it moving.
Oh, I saw it.
And I've
Yeah, I
shown
saw
you
the
pictures
Tahlequah.
and stuff, yeah.
I mean, I saw what I saw down there. And
I'm
I
just
don't know
talking
what
about
that
out
was.
west,
Oh, I know, here in Kansas even. Yep. I think about that every time I go past that certain
Out
area.
in the daylight. We just
Mhm.
happen to come across it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know what it is. If we knew, we probably would. What do you do at that point? You quit hunting them, or you quit?
No, research them. Why can't we study them just like they're studying us, probably?
Yeah.
Why do we have to shoot first and worry about it later? And go, oh, well, that'll look good in my house.
Yeah, everybody wants a trophy.
You know?
The people that do that want the trophy.
But then I say, fuck you.
I wouldn't mind sitting around the bonfire with Daryl.
Yeah.
Talking.
Why not?
I know.
I mean, I may not want to eat what he eats, but, I say,
Right. Okay, well, that's the case. Would you though? If you like here, you turn them,
I don't
offend
know.
them.
That comes back to like when I was watching Dances with Wolves when they take
Yeah.
the liver out of the, and they hand it to
Yeah.
him and he's like, that's it. Would you? To be part of the group?
Those are different times.
I know.
For
But I'm just
dancing
saying,
wolves.
it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Would you eat a body part
I
like
think
that?
you have to because look at Josh Gates when he goes all those foreign countries.
Oh, I know.
You would offend the the tribesmen.
Oh.
That's their version of steak and lobster and all that crap that you're saying. Hell no, that's
Where
gross.
was he recently? Where he, they even said this is going to be graphic on TV, and they take that cow and they
Yeah.
hit the jugular and they drain and then they put the weeds up there that
Yeah.
cauterize it basically,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have him drink the warm blood of the cow, and that was part of his ritual of being.
Yeah.
Now you're part of us.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to,
Yeah,
especially in that instance that
No.
you're on TV.
it's
You
good
got
iron. It's just good iron.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, but
Just a steak sandwich, real salty.
There's a restaurant somewhere in the world that I know, I've seen it on Travel Channel, that serves fresh blood from a snake as a delicacy.
Oh yeah.
With your meal.
Yeah.
They're back there draining it and put it in a glass. They bring it out in like a wine glass, and people just sit there and they sip it.
Yeah.
well, hey, Bigfoot is a vegetarian, so I'm fine with that. I'll eat some grass and tree leaves.
Who says that? Because there's been reports of them seeing him actually ripping apart a deer.
He was defending his territory.
From a deer?
Yeah.
They're eating them too.
They're Bigfoot.
There's even a 911 call of a guy saying he sees Bigfoot out in his barn because he was missing. He kept the door was always open,
Mm-hmm.
and he has his freezer there, and he was always putting all his meat out there, and he had his deer meat because he's a hunter too.
Oh,
He was a
right.
farmer and stuff.
Yep.
And there's a 911 call of a guy who finally waited up long enough one night to see somebody walk out there, and he hits the spotlight up there, and shit, it's a gigantic, hairy, dark covered creature that's like peeking around the the barn,
Right.
and he's like screaming into the phone, "Oh my God, it's a creature!" He was stealing all his meat out there.
No, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things out there that we don't even understand or can't even begin to understand. That's undiscovered. I mean, the ocean itself has a freaking 1,000 undiscovered species. Whenever
They
may
keep
never
finding
seen in our
something new
lifetime.
all the time.
Yeah. So why can't the Earth be the same way?
Yeah.
The land.
It is.
Yeah.
Because not everybody goes out of their bubble.
It's like when you go see all those people that go down to like the Amazon River or that area, Amazon jungle, and there's all kinds of tribes down there that
Have never seen
Never
us.
seen you.
they
Well,
get territorial, whatnot, and, because they're cannibals or they're whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not alone, so who knows what we're stumbling across, but
What was it? I think I read the story of like Rockefeller's grandson
mhm,
or nephew, something like
Mhm.
that. He goes to because he was a journalist and he went over there and he
Yeah.
was invited to come over and be with this tribe, which is known to be cannibals.
Yep.
And he was never seen
never
again.
seen again. Yep.
And they're
So-
pretty sure that they butchered him up and ate him.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's a Rockefeller delicacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. We got about 27 minutes left, roughly, of the show. So it was a fun part. This is the part I like. Not that I don't enjoy the
You
conversations.
don't
we have.
like our conversation?
I just said not that I don't
yeah.
enjoy them. I like getting
Kinda.
your guys' picking your guys' brains and the viewers.
Hurt.
Well, let's go to fact and
That's
fake, I
kinda-
guess.
Kinda
No,
hurt.
I mean because everybody loves our stories that they're secondhand as far as to the viewers
Yeah.
go, or it's all hearsay. I mean we have no. Well, we have evidence and
Well.
video and audio and pictures.
Got to
and-
do your research. Research is key. Don't ever take our word for stuff.
right.
Research it.
Research.
But I like finding random videos online that I have my own opinions. You guys have your own opinions. The viewers have their own opinions, and somebody put it out there, whether it be a hoax, whether it be real, whether
Right.
it be help me kind of a thing. You never know. But it's just fun. I like looking at stuff like that because I like seeing our evidence and thinking, holy shit, I can't believe we caught what we caught. And
Right.
then now there's other people capturing stuff too. So it's fun. So anywho,
Let's
with
see. I see
that-
some good ones.
some of these you probably could have seen making the way, making their way around the internet or whatnot, or who knows where. But let me grab some stuff real quick here. I'll probably play and it won't work because that's the way my life works. No kidding. Hang on, let me get it set up real quick here on myself. Ready for this, so I can kind of talk about it.
Nope.
While you're
Alright.
pulling that up, have you guys started watching that new one called Believers?
Yes,
Nope.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
No.
Yeah. There's some
Kinda
pretty
cool.
decent
What's that on?
actual
Travel Channel.
Travel Channel.
Of course it is. Everything's on Travel Channel now.
Travel Channel.
It was
is,
sci-fi, now it's Travel Channel.
Well, Travel Channel is nothing but paranormal now. I mean, I have not watched anything on there that's not paranormal anymore.
Well,
Right,
during the day,
which
I
I
think
love.
they have like actual,
They do?
stuff about going to the beach and stuff like that.
No, that's Destination Channel now.
Oh,
Destination
yeah.
Truth or something like Destination. I
They're all
don't
giving
know.
up.
It's all paranormal. Believers is a new one though. It's-
Yeah, it's very cool. There's stories and reenactments and actual footage and everything. Some of it's pretty awesome, pretty spooky, and pretty. What the hell are we looking
Very
at?
cool.
So, yep. All right. So without
Are you ready?
further ado, get your headphones on so you can
Okay.
hear.
Headphones all
They
correct.
should have audio,
You sure?
and hopefully it'll work because I'm sure it won't. Give me a second here. Okay. Here's the first one.
Alright guys, so I work at this
Hang on.
old theater and been hearing a noise
What do you think of that, Charles?
See
What?
if you can see it at all. But I keep hearing a noise in here, and there's not supposed to be anybody here, so just double checking, but I wanted to film it just in case. There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and whatnot. And what the what is that? Hold on, let me get a better look.
The creepy figure of a man wearing a suit can be seen in the theater's old private balcony. Bailey says he's the only one who has access to the area where the apparition can be seen, so no one could have been up there. So could this be the ghost of the theater's founder still wandering around and keeping an eye on the place? Let me know what you think.
Alright guys, so I work at this old theater and been hearing a noise. It's a really beautiful theater, as you can see, if you can see it at all. But I keep hearing a noise in here, and there's not supposed to be anybody here, so just double checking, but I wanted to film
Heard
it
something.
just in case. There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and
Hopefully
whatnot.
you can hear
And
us. Let me see.
what the just double checking, but I wanted to film it just in case. What is that? There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for.
Here.
Hold on, let me get a better look.
So something up in the thing. There's the image there.
The creepy figure of a man wearing a suit can be seen in the theater's old private balcony. Bailey says he's the only one who has access to the area where the apparition can be seen, so no one could have been up there. So could this be the ghost of the theater's founder still wandering around and keeping an eye on the place? Let me know what you think.
Okay. Oh crap. Where we at? Okay, sorry, we're back. We were having trouble hearing it on our end, but it's okay. So that was the theater. It's called the Theater of the Absurd. It's a guy that works there, does a night shift. Allegedly, he's just filming because that's what he does. He likes to investigate, supposedly, and he happens to pan up at the right time into that. Something catches his eye in that upper balcony area. It's off, cordoning off basically. It looks like a person sitting up there.
That wasn't a mirror.
No.
Oh, okay.
You can hear the audio, which you have to go back and listen later on our own. But he basically, the narrator says this guy is maybe thinking it's possibly the former owner of the building itself, who's been passed away years before. But I don't know. I mean, could you see that figure up there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear. My thing, I didn't know if it was just like a cutout up there, but it seems to materialize, not just, show up there, it's there, show up there, it's there kind of a thing. It's, as he pans over, it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Had you seen it before, you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I don't know. I had to watch it a couple times.
Same here.
His reaction, he doesn't seem too awfully freaked out in
Right.
seeing a full body apparition sitting up there, and he just happens to go, "Oh, what's that?"
Right.
What's that?
It seems too
And
well
then
placed.
he zooms in a little bit, like, "Oh, what's
Yeah.
this? Oh my God, there's a man up there." I don't know. His reaction kind of is cheap, if you ask me.
Right.
But for anybody else, I mean, if we saw that, we'd be freaked out
Oh,
and
God,
excitement and everything. But this guy, no, and then he claims I peed myself. I mean, come on.
I would
Right.
have sent 3 people up there to either
I know.
try to figure it out. Find
Well, see, I don't know if that stuff was. Cause we've been in a couple of theaters like that, the
Yeah.
Orpheum to the Dodge Theater, where
To
you can't get access up there.
Leavenworth to-
You can see up there,
Yeah.
but it's like been burned down or whatever. The staircases have been removed or whatever,
Right.
boarded up or whatever you want to call it. So, if that's the case in this place, if he could have shown more to that, like, hey, there's no way up here, absolutely no possible way.
He would have just charged over there and ran and gone up there
If
and
he could.
seen. Yeah, if he could, but
Right.
just so calmly, like, oh, what's this over here? What's that?
Oh, I pee myself.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks good,
Yeah.
but it could be easily faked in CG or
Oh,
cut
for
out.
sure.
So,
Or cardboard cutout, like on
and he's by
Three Men and a
himself.
Baby.
He's by himself too. There's nobody else like there to collaborate or
Yeah.
get freaked out with him or anything like that. He is by himself, which something that we always try to say: don't ever do stuff by yourself because you can't prove it.
Right. Well, he works there by himself. Allegedly, he's a night watchman. Allegedly.
Right, but if you're gonna film something and
Yeah,
he just happens to
bring
go
somebody else.
filming and then he captures like
Yeah.
Class A apparition sitting there, and he just happens to pan over. What's that sound up there? Oh,
Right.
Oh, there. Look at that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, that's why I want the
Minus him,
Yep.
it's a pretty good apparition sitting up there too.
Yep. Okay. So this next one, it's an art building where this guy holds class, and it's like kind of like what do you call it? Like City Arts or whatever it's called here, where you can go in and do paintings and stuff like that. So this guy was working there late night, whatever, and he's hearing all kinds of weird things, and he's been hearing this stuff for a while. So he goes up and investigate, and we'll go over here. 1 second. Come on. There it goes.
So this is where I was. I was standing right there. The lights are main bathrooms, of course. Hello?
Sorry, we don't have any sound, guys.
Hello? All right, I think I'm done. I think I've had about enough for today.
Did you see it? Mason doesn't notice, but right before he ends the video, a face with glowing eyes can be seen at the end of the hallway, and it seems to be staring directly at him. What makes the footage even creepier is the fact that the face appears 10 to 15 feet above a staircase. No one or nothing could have been standing up there.
And you can see how far it is. I think it was looking around this edge. And there's nothing to stand on. So this is where I was. I was standing right there. The lights are main bathrooms, of course. Hello? Hello? All right, I think I'm done. I think I've had about enough for today.
Did you see it? Mason doesn't notice, but right before he ends the video, a face with glowing eyes can be seen at the end of the hallway, and it seems to be staring directly at him. What makes the footage even creepier is the fact that the face appears 10 to 15 feet above a staircase. No one or nothing could have been standing up there.
And you can see how far it is. I think it was looking around.
I know we couldn't hear in the studio, unfortunately. So you guys can kind of see what this guy's hearing the noises upstairs. So he goes into where he hears the source of it. So he thinks the bathroom area, and he hears some couple bangs that makes him scared. That's why he's like backs away. He's like, okay, I'm done with this. So he just walks away. Doesn't notice what the arrow points to.
Right. So what do you think you see in when the arrow's pointing?
It's like a person's face. The reason it's so, to them, it's so compelling because he doesn't notice it right away. And when he goes back and watches the footage, this is when he notices. So he goes back to the next day after he's seen this, and he points to the area again. That's why it shows the daylight. And there's no way somebody could be standing up there because it's like 15 feet up in the air.
True. Down
the stairwell.
Right.
This person had to been tall or floating, basically.
Right.
And now it's blurry, which is somewhat intriguing because it kind of reminds me of the insert no face footage we talked about where you can't make the face out. Now, is that a prop or is it photoshopped? I don't know. What did you guys think?
It's got big hair. Big hair. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's compelling on the aspect of, I feel like we've been there, that kind of going back in to check something out because you've been hearing it and everything like that, and like
yeah, good call.
And sorry, because I've done that in different places, like even the Orpheum, or not the Orpheum, but the Forum Theater, you know, going around with the camera or just going back and checking things on my own during the daytime, you know, because I had this happen or had that happen.
Right, try to recreate.
And just seeing, you know, I hear this here and there and stuff like that, and it's difficult to say that that's not real.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like that could probably be, you know, legit.
We're being that high off the ground, too. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to, you know, fake it, I guess.
Well, I mean, you could put a face taped up there, but it looks like, now he is moving, mind you, when you get the camera, so from an angle it looks like it's not as far out, but before you go this way, it doesn't look like the face is peeking around more. So it can be faked, but was this one in this case? I mean, if you go back and listen to, like, the audio itself, it's pretty... The guy sounds genuinely freaked out.
I mean, I've watched that one too. So I'm like,
So I want to say it's real, but I don't know if it is.
I'm glad you brought these two because I've actually seen them ahead of time. So
that's great.
No, but I like it. I actually think I like that one more than I do the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
Big time.
Yeah, that one's a little bit more compelling than this one is. So this next one is a place down, I want to say, and it's somewhere like in Mexico, and it's one of the, you'll hear them because they're speaking Spanish, obviously, and
I know it's noisy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You seen it?
No.
Oh,
my headphones. I'll put them back on so I hear it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just worried about this.
Yeah.
And them hearing.
Yeah. So, anyways, so usually I play it through twice, but this one's kind of a longer, so I'll play it only once. Oops, hang on. Let me get out of this real quick here.
Let's see.
1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I have the right video. Sorry. Okay. So let me do this.
Como que de atrás, como que este lado ocupa más así como, no sé, ¿no? Como casa, refugio de varios.
Did you see it? As the camera pans towards Lewis, a bizarre shadow figure can be seen walking by the doorway right behind him. Both Lewis and cameraman Mitchell don't notice the figure as it walks past them not once, but twice. But it gets even creepier. When they reach the rooftop of the abandoned hospital, They find what appears to be a broken down small storage area. Heavy pieces of air conditioning equipment block the entrance, making it impossible for them to go inside. So instead, they quickly film the inside of the storage space before leaving to go back downstairs. What their camera captures is downright chilling.
Está muy chiquito el lugar, ¿no? Sí, está. Bueno, como podemos ver ahí. Son como nada más como turbinas, ¿no, güey? Así de los que... Ajá. Bueno, pues aquí no hay nada. Es puro de aire acondicionado o turbinas, algo así, no sé qué sea. Pero bueno, ¿cuánto vas a caer, mi John?
No.
Vámonos.
Chale, por abajo.
A shadowy, mysterious figure seems to be staring at them from the darkness, but they don't see it. They simply decide to end their exploration and head back downstairs.
All right. Well, what do you think about that one?
Those shadows are pretty solid.
Yeah.
They look CGI'd to me. I don't know. It'd be hard to believe.
I think for the very first one that was hunkered over and went this direction,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that would have been a cool catch. But then they turn around and they have like almost like a hooded one going really quickly the other way.
If you go back and look, it looks like the same figure.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of, the first one almost looked like it was like more hunked.
Yeah.
I don't know, but just the way it went by the second time,
Mm-hmm.
it looked too quick.
Right.
And it, like he said, computer animation, possibly.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to do it computer-wise. You can do it just if you're standing behind the camera.
Yeah.
And you cast a shadow over that you don't see. That's why some of the pictures out there, people have been able to duplicate those, like the famous shadow people they see, like in I can't think of the building it is. One of the famous haunted, like prisons or whatever,
Like Waverly
Mansfield.
and all that.
Yeah, where you can see a shadow person. They're not saying that they didn't capture that. They're just saying it's possible to be duplicated or created.
Right.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
know much
difficult
about
to
them.
say. I mean, it was like 3 almost the same figure
Mhm.
in all 3 and in 2 different spots.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
There's multiple spots. It's just
Yeah.
like the one up the very, that's on the top roof, the one with the guy standing there behind things. I don't know. That's what they're talking about, the turbines, whatever they keep saying. But it's the air conditioning coil and all that stuff they're seeing up
Yeah.
there. And the other one was downstairs, but I don't know.
It's like he's just kind of like, look at these, look at these. Look, you see
Yeah.
this? This is like this. I don't know what this is, but look at this, look at this.
Yeah.
It's like they're just making a point to like be there so they can put that in the
Well,
background.
these guys have it. They're a paranormal group out of Mexico. I can't remember their names off the top of my. Probably couldn't say it anyways if I did. But they film all the time, so it's like kind of like we do. So
I mean, it could be.
that's
it
one of
could
those
be.
claims that if you're gonna put your name on it like that, you better
It better have, yeah.
some weight behind it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're gonna.
I'm not saying that it is
Depending
fake.
on what
I'm
it's
just saying it looks too easy to have faked
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I get it. This next one here, we have
It's
just a couple
cool, though.
more. We're almost out of time. So this one is out of Hurst Castle in England.
Oh yeah.
It's a place that used to be in the 1500s an English military fort and prison. So we'll play this one here.
Yeah, it's got a hole in the floor with spikes 15 feet down.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you
That's where the one Ghost Hunters went to,
Man.
right?
I think it's,
With
I think
they,
it's Hearst Castle, yeah.
yeah, where they were doing things, experiments and whatnot. So, all right, here we go.
Determined to investigate this tiny little room and see if he catches any paranormal activity. He sets up a camera to record and ends up capturing something horrific. When Tony reviews his footage later, he is shocked to see a small dark figure with glowing eyes standing at the window in the Smallhurst Castle room. Now, you might think that this could simply be a person standing outside the window, but it turns out that that would be impossible. You see, behind this window there is only a small gap and then concrete. The area behind this window was completely closed off with bricks and cement long ago. So then the question is, who or what is this? You decide.
Can I say it?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
So what I saw there, just first thing out of my mind, was seeing probably somebody from their crew wearing a short sleeve shirt and had headphones on.
Headphones?
That's what I see. Because you see something shiny kind of like right here around the ears, but you see short sleeves. It's almost like, kind of like our Dodge City moment there at Boot Hill, you know, where Chris's friend steps out.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that kind of moment.
Yeah.
Could have been the same thing with one of their crew members coming out and was like looking out. So,
Well,
There's a
I
caveat
do
to that.
know
Yeah.
that the person that could have done that, because that's in the tower,
Yep.
it's almost 80 feet up or something
And
like
it's bricked
that.
in. Some
can
of
you
them-
get in it?
Maybe that little window that they're peeking through. Now the thing is, there's more to this footage. I didn't bring all that. I think two of them were wandering around at the time, and one of them was getting like deeply affected by it. Like he was looks like, it reminded me almost of Zach, where he's looking at the camera and he's like goes there and just punches the shit out of the guy's hand. He's like, "What the hell?" You know, like, "What are you doing?" And it's just there's supposed to be either prisoner or a military spirit that's supposedly is real angry, and it's affecting this guy. So the guy came back the next day, and this is what I was showing, that he set up a camera. It almost looks like the guy who in the actual person. That's why I was kind of torn by it at first, but then you hear about it, and it says in there in the actual video. Now, if they're thinking the same thing we're thinking.
Yeah, to me it
It's
looks
easy
like
to
a crew
fake.
member.
It's easy to fake, but if you can get in that room, the problem is, like Dan said, it's in a tower, it's bricked off. That's where they show the other cutscene that says like the reenacted version of the bricks. That's because they're telling you what it is. It's bricked off. There's no way you can get in there, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So
I don't know. It looks like somebody wearing a T-shirt.
they were also saying that his eyes are glowing, the eyes shine. That's why.
I don't see eye shine. I see
Oh,
what
go back
it
and look
looks
again.
like.
That's his eyes you're looking at. Maybe that's what you were thinking is the headset.
His eyes over here?
He's looking like this, like kind of diagonal, kind of peeking out, and his eyes was glowing, allegedly.
I
Yeah.
still don't see that.
No, go back and watch it. Yeah. I don't know, but knowing the history of Hearst Castle and like the negativity there and all that stuff, and it's in England. It's one of those haunted places.
If they can't get up there in the tower, then that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But if they could, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, guy wearing a T-shirt is up there kind of peeking around. You know, I mean, it did look like a T-shirt to me.
Oh, I see like a button-down V-neck, kind of with a pocket
I don't
polo
see
shirt.
that.
I mean, I don't know.
I'll have to watch it again.
I'll definitely go watch it again too, and we can see. But got a couple of more we'll play here. We got what? It's 9 o'clock now.
Who cares? Let's do it.
We got only 4 more videos. We'll make it through. Okay. Give me a second.
Sneeze.
Don't sneeze. We'll hear you.
Worked at a local trucking company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. He says that one night one of the truck drivers captured strange footage on a highway outside of Ada, Oklahoma. Many people, including children, have tragically lost their lives on the 2 busy highways running through the small town. Sherman and his workmates can be seen watching the dashcam footage from the truck. They are shocked by what they see.
27 there. Yeah. Let it roll. Come on. Come on, let it roll. Right there. Whoosh. Whoa.
The truck driver barely manages to avoid hitting what seems to be a small child that appears out of thin air. But it gets even creepier. because the driver says that he immediately stopped the large truck on the side of the road after this incident. He looked everywhere for the child. He found nothing. He called local police, but again, there were no reports of lost or missing children anywhere in the area. So, is this a ghost caught on camera? Or a completely random, unexplained child on a dark highway in the middle of the night and in the middle of nowhere? Let me know what you think.
So I'll kind of set up the premise of this. This was it's a trucker. That's why they're showing the two people going at the screen, because they have a camera on the front of the rig. And this is, of all places, this is Ada, Oklahoma, which is not that far from us.
Really?
Yeah. And this guy's not even from Oklahoma. I think he's from Arkansas originally or something like that, the guy that had caught this. He's traveling down a stretch of highway in Oklahoma, like I said, Ada, and it's supposedly a sighting where they see a lot of ghost children, allegedly. And this guy just cruising along one night, and they showed, like I said, they showed the guy and the girl, because he's showing them, it's a genuine reaction. They like, look at this, see this. That's why they show him from behind at first, and then they show us the actual footage. He even went as far as to do some research, call the police and all that stuff, and yeah, there's definitely children that have been died in that area. So, did he capture the image of a ghost child? I mean, it's kind of hard to see, because
I like it.
it's interesting. It makes me want to drive to Ada, Oklahoma, and go and do some investigating, because
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, because the audio of the guy, and you'll hear it, he's pretty freaked out. I mean, he's like, holy shit, you know, kind of a genuine reaction from a person who doesn't investigate paranormal. So it's has some good weight.
Almost, I mean, at first it looks like they were walking, and then as the camera goes and the truck goes by, the body almost kind of turns.
Yeah.
Turns to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's pretty intriguing right there.
I can't remember if he even stopped and got out and looked. I'll have to go back and watch. I haven't seen this for a couple weeks, but I want to say he stopped and then he couldn't find anything. Yeah. That's why he called the police. He's like, well, I just saw a child out here walking on the highway. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know about that stuff. And they kind of, yeah, because it's legitimate or whatever, supposedly. But I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty intriguing anyways.
I've driven through there.
I have it too, not even knowing what I know now, but now I want to go check it out.
Yeah.
It's not that far from us.
Strip of land or highway?
Oh, God, you have to ask me that.
177.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not that far, yeah, from us. 177 is not in general, but
southeast of Oklahoma City, straight down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So definitely have to make a road trip, possibly.
Let's do it.
We got a couple more here. We'll play. Yeah, we'll play it. Screw it.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna play this one, but I'll play it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Can't make me.
You said you were going to.
We got 3 more, guys. Bear with us. It's almost done.
Okay.
Now, this is a place in, I love these Spanish-speaking ones because they're more animated. I don't know exactly where this is, what country this is, but you'll just see it.
Dale, bueno. Aguanta, hermano, aguanta. Ah, conche su madre, ya. Ya, Juan. Ya, Juan, anda, dale. ¡3 litros de agua! Anda para allá, weón. Gato culiao con la chucha, ¿no? Le gusta, weón. F you.
Something seems to hit the guitar strings, but the guy just laughs it off. Then things get truly chilling.
Weón, por la chucha, weón. Gato, tenés la media Xbox. ¡La peluda! Conchetumare, ¿qué, weón? ¡Gato, weón! ¡Gato! ¡Conchetumare! ¡Gato, weón! ¡Gato, conchetumare! ¡Gato, weón! ¡Gato, gato! ¡Weón, conchetumare, weón! Salió una sombra, culiay, weón. ¿A dónde, weón? Weón, salió una sombra, weón. Weón, en serio, weón. Conchetumare. No, no, no hecho ni cagando, ¿no? No, weón, en serio. Weón, se apagó, weón. Ya, weón. Ya, ¿en serio, weón? ¿Serio, weón? conche tu madre, qué weón, ya, esta weá no, ya sale, conche tu madre.
Did you see it? As the light turns off on its own, a creepy dark figure can be seen walking through the kitchen. The guy filming is absolutely terrified and tries to warn his friend, but the other guy doesn't really seem to believe him. Then a loud bang is heard from the darkness, and they both decide to just get out of there. Now, in the original video, the shape is a bit dark and hard to see, but when the video is enhanced, it looks downright terrifying.
Gato Juan! Gato! Conche tu madre! Gato Juan!
The figure seems to be clothed all in black, and it almost looks like it has glowing eyes. It just doesn't quite look human. But is this a real shadow creature caught on camera? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
Okay, let me explain to these guys in studio since we can't hear the audio in studio. A couple guys hanging out playing guitar, just kind of messing around, and when he pans over the guitar left, the guitar strums by itself. That's why he's like, what the fuck, you know? He looks at it, and then the lights go out. And the guy I thought the guy was in the house using the bathroom. He went outside because this is like a third world country or somewhere. And anyways,
Outside, yeah.
he walks into that room, like thinking that guy's over there. You know, like what's going on? Because the lights went out, and then that's when he sees that figure, and he runs out the building looking for and that's when you come out, and the guy's outside the house. They go back in, and they hear some other bangs, and that's when they run out. But the reason they kept panning on the video back to that same figure, obviously it's a figure. They said the eyes looked like it was glowing a little bit. So
It's definitely
it's huge.
odd, yeah.
Yeah.
Did it morph in a way too?
It was just walking. It turns to look a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of. They think that's when he says the eyes glow, whatever. But in the video itself, but like I said, the reactions once again can go either way. They can be staged. I mean, because the way he's just bantering, like, "Oh, silly mother," you know, he's cussing and whatever, and
Yeah.
dude, you know, kind of a thing. But
Dude moments.
when the lights go out, that's when you can tell he's freaked out. First, he gets freaked out because of the guitar, but then he also, when the lights go out, it gets a little bit more serious, and then he walks over there, and when he sees that shadow, then he really screams. Now, whether
Yeah.
the guy was in on it, I don't know, because he runs allegedly too once they hear the bang when they go investigate.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. It's intriguing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting when I saw it. I was just like,
I don't know what to think of it.
if it's real, that's cool. It's big. I mean, that shadow
Yeah,
thing is
it
huge.
really is.
It looks like
So-
he's got extremely long arms or
Uh-huh.
something. So,
It looked like a cloaked figure to me, like a Grim
Yeah.
Reaper type kind of a thing, but I don't know if it's real or not. So, nonetheless, it was kind of cool.
Interesting.
A
The
couple
Italian
more,
Grim Reaper.
two more, and then we'll be done for the evening. So this next one is another paranormal group that investigates abandoned things such as mines and whatnot. There it goes.
It'd be fun.
So this takes place in a mine, obviously.
Mine dates all the way back to the early 1900s. Now, first let me point out that Chuck's YouTube channel is dedicated solely to finding and exploring abandoned mines. He has never uploaded a paranormal video of any kind. So, while exploring deep into this old gold mine, Chuck gets separated from his friend Justin. While walking down one of the mine's dark tunnels, he captures this.
No squeezing yet. Yet.
Did you see it? A strange shadow thing seems to form and then disappear right in front of him. Now at the time, Chuck didn't even notice this bizarre shadow. He says that his wife pointed it out to him later when they were reviewing the footage. Chuck can't explain it. He says it's the strangest thing he's ever seen in all his years of exploring caves and mines.
Obviously, it speaks for itself, but there's also a moan I heard right before it. Now, when I first saw that, I thought maybe it was just, once again, is it a case of where it's just his reflection, you know, with the light behind him, and you're projecting the image of you. But if you notice, it's kind of taller in the cave and it's transparent at the top versus being a solid mass. Plus, it doesn't really fit somebody moving back and forth. It's this thing's standing upright and kind of weird shaped.
It's weird shaped.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's not your typical.
It's got like a huge head.
Yeah, it almost looks like your fake alien.
Yeah. Like
kind of that
like
big
gray
head, long
alien,
arms.
you know. Like,
Green Man. Yeah, Green Man, whatever you want to call him. Now, I don't know if that's what it is or if it's an old miner. I can kind of make a claim if I think about it long enough and talk myself into it. I can think it could be a miner's hat he has on or something.
Large hard
but,
hat, yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
But I don't. If it's the fact the moan and right before that is kind of different.
They don't really react to it, do they?
Not like screaming, running out kind of a thing because they don't
But they
see
did
the
see
shadow
it?
figure. They don't see the shadow figure.
I didn't think so.
No,
Okay.
they just hear
Because
the
they're just
moan.
kind of panning around and
Yeah.
just looking around. And stuff,
They just
so.
hear the moan like, what was that? You know, kind of a
Right.
thing from general reaction. Like I said, these guys do the urban exploring, whatever, a lot of mines and stuff like that. That's why I got the first part on there because I had all their videos. So they've been around quite a bit. And once again, if you're going to put your name out on a piece of evidence like that, and you want to fake all you want, you better. I mean, you're going to lose credibility in the field. So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they felt it was a good, compelling piece of evidence that they put it out there with their name stamp on it. So it makes me think it's possibly true.
Yeah.
It's a sweet shadow for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely something you don't want to see in a cave. You know,
No.
when you're going
I don't
around.
know.
I mean, I would. I mean,
I don't know.
but
I
for
don't want
normal
to.
people, for regular.
Yeah. Because there's all those reports, especially all these old mines of Tommy knockers. You know, they've been hearing all kinds of weird things deeper in the tunnels. Because you're opening up the Earth's
Yeah.
crust, whatever, you know, looking for whatever, mineral, ore, gold, diamond, whatever you want to call it.
And
Are they
people die
opening and
down there.
releasing something that's been trapped for years, or is it just air compressed releasing? I don't know.
Elementals, you know. I mean,
That too.
Yeah.
Depends on the
Plus,
angle.
those who died even creating
Oh,
those
yeah.
mines,
Yeah.
those shafts.
For sure.
So
All right, one last video. This next one is based out of Brazil. Like I said, I like some of these videos
Brazil.
because the reactions are more genuine. And some of these places, especially like we'll say Brazil, they're third world countries, kind of harder for them to fake, maybe, because they don't have the capability like we do in the U.S. or wherever, you know, with magic and stuff. Not that it can't be done, it's just a little bit more believable. So.
Aí pessoal, ó, comprei a câmera nova, vamos colocar um vídeo no YouTube aí, ó. Ai, que vergonha, não faz isso. A Josi capotada já, com sono. Aí, Thiago, a câmera que eu comprei nova aí. Vermelhinha e tal. Vocês nem esperaram pra festa aí, né, mano? Meu Deus do céu, que porra é essa, velho? Mano, eu vi alguma coisa aqui, Thiago, tem alguma coisa que passou aqui, velho. Velho. Tô falando sério, cara, tô falando sério. Vem aqui comigo, cara. Tem nada aqui, não. Eu vi uma coisa assim, cara. Tá louco, mano? Maluco. Eu vou voltar a câmera e você vai ver, velho.
The cameraman freaks out as a sinister pale shape walks through the back of the kitchen, right behind his friend. They check through the back of the house, but no one there. However, the door to the bathroom seems to have mysteriously opened on its own, and the light is turned on inside. 9 years later, the original poster of this video still claims that it is 100% real. But what do you think? Real ghost or real hoax?
What do you think? I could go many different directions
it's a
with this.
creepy Michael Myers looking dude right there, you know.
I could be an advocate for yes, it's real. I could be an advocate for no, it's faked.
Right.
Because of many different things. In the video itself, when they go back to investigate. Well, when he first screams, whatever, and the guy's at the fridge like, "What? You're crazy!" And he steps aside. You notice the back doorway is out of frame.
Right.
So that's
Could have
taking
ran
a chance
into
to somebody
and
to
came
go
over.
hide, whatever.
True.
And when he goes back there, supposedly the bathroom light comes on by itself. Supposedly. But now, also, where does the rest of the room go? Is there a door off camera that goes
True.
out the back or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The reactions seem pretty authentic because he's like screams or whatever,
Right.
kind of holy shit.
And the guy kind of like,
He's like, what, dude? He's like,
dude?
It startles him.
The
So,
figure's pretty off color to
That's another
anything
thing.
else. It stands out
Gray.
to almost looking like computer generated
yeah.
figure.
It could be.
Go.
It could be one of those ones, the projector type
Yes.
thing,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
that give off that white ominous glow.
Yeah.
Or it could be a living dead thing that they don't know who the fuck it is or what it is.
Right.
I mean, it could be all the above or none of the above.
Yeah.
It's interesting nonetheless.
But
It's
the
just one
key
of those-
factor that you said with the you don't see the door and anything, that person who walked in could have just immediately bolted over,
Right.
and then they ran back there toward that and didn't
Yeah.
pan over.
Because like I said, there's a moment with that back door is out of frame, whatever, just for a split second, enough to where when they come around, and
Yeah.
again, they could be gone. Like I said, I don't know. The whole point of it was they had been partying at this Brazil house for a while, and it was kind of winding down, and he was just showing them business. And he supposedly bought this brand new camera, and this is what was caught, allegedly. That's the
Interesting.
backstory. I don't know. It's interesting, nonetheless. It was kind of cool. It was just a different type of video. I mean, some of these will be
I
fake.
like it.
I'll bring some of these to the table I know are fake. I'll
Yeah.
also bring some that are real, possibly. And then some I have no clue. That's why I bring them just for your guys' opinions and also the
I love
viewers.
it.
So, kind of fun. So, yeah, we'll have to go back and watch them with sound because we didn't hear sound on our end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I know it's broadcasting outwards. So,
Very cool.
all right, y'all. Well, this is probably went longer than 9:17, which sucks for some of us that have to work, which is all of us.
Yeah.
So, one
Yes.
quick note, like I said, a reminder, let me get this pulled up. That's what I was doing on behind the scenes. Hang on one second. Upcoming this next Sunday, which would be what? I don't know what the dates. The 13th. Sunday the 13th. We're doing another show. I know we just did today's show Wednesday, but we're going to have special guests that night. Let me get my dumb head out of the way here in a second so people at home can see. Oh, maybe not. Wrong one. So this coming Sunday, Jason, you're going away too.
Nope, no problem.
We're gonna have no, we can't do it. Dang it. There is more better. Special guests Ed Louder and Shannon Johnson of Apex Paranormal. People we met up in, like I said, in Kansas City Paracon last summer. They go all over actually. They go to Iowa. They go to everywhere. They're kind of a big group that's all across the Midwest, spread over. And they want to come on and talk about who they are, what they have to offer. There are a couple of places you can go and public investigate, like the Beatty Mansion, the Vale Mansion, and a couple other places. So I've talked with Shannon throughout the whole year, and I never met Ed, so we'll see.
Right. I talked to her.
Yeah.
Luckily, that for my brief moment I was there at the Paracon.
Also talked with Allie Westrick, she was doing some readings and stuff like that. And she's part of their group also too. But these two are coming on for now, and I said, "Come on anytime you want to. We'll talk even further." They're like us; they like to talk. And I asked them, "Do you want to talk for we're a 2-hour show in 20 minutes?" Apparently tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, "You want to talk for an hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever you want?" Like we can. They said we can talk, so we'll probably do 2 hours. So it'll be a fun ride. We can bounce off ideas and whatnot. So once again, that's this upcoming Sunday, and we'll put a post out there about it, promoting it some more.
Very cool.
So, all right, guys. Well, this was Cryptic Heartland episode 115. We'll get some of the bugs worked out. We still have on our end. It didn't affect you guys, hopefully. I don't think it did, other than you can hear us talking when you shouldn't. But no biggie. But we got a new computer, some new studio things going on, and we're making it better each day for you, the viewer at home. Jason had put out some things out there on the Cryptic Heartland page, asking if there's anything you want to talk about, any topics, any questions you have, reach out to us. We'll answer your questions live on air. We'll start taking some phone calls here again too, where people can come on air and talk with us with any question live and whatnot. So other than that, this is Cryptic Heartland. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, you go live with us. But for tonight, I'm Leo, that's Jason, that's Dan.
We'll see you in a
guys
few
Good night,
days.
everybody.
this Sunday.